Minnesota Vikings head coach Dennis Green, fourth season with the Vikings, and Buddy Ryan in his second year as head man with the Cardinals here in Arizona. Cardinals coming off last week's 38-6 loss in Denver. Vikings defeated the Packers 27-24. This is Fuad Reveiz, who is getting set to kick it off for the Vikings. Back deep for the Arizona Cardinals, number 83, Anthony Edwards on the right. Number 84 is Marcus Dowdell. Cardinals defeated the Vikings last year here in Tempe, 17-7. That was Buddy Ryan's first victory as Cardinals head coach. Anthony Edwards up to the 30-yard line. Pulled down by Tuanao Alapate. So Dave Craig leads the Cardinals out onto the field. Craig with 13 interceptions, most among NFC quarterbacks, his first year in Arizona. The men protecting Craig: Tharp, the All-Pro Duval Love, Jamie Dukes, Bernard Daphne, ex-Minnesota Viking, and Cecil Gray. Larry Centers, the Cardinals' top receiver, with Garrison Hurst, Sanders, and Moore, the wide receivers, and the tight end is rookie Oscar McBride. First and 10 from the 30. Garrison Hurst, the third-year man out of Georgia, around the left side, gains 7, pulled out of bounds by Charles Mincy. John Randall, the leader of the Vikings defense. Randall with rookie Derek Alexander, Esra Tuaolo, and Roy Parker. Randall leading the way with 4.5 sacks. McDaniel, Brady filling in for the injured Jack Del Rio, along with Broderick Thomas. The secondary: Dwayne Washington, Mincy, Harlan Barnett, and the rookie out of Florida State, Corey Fuller. Second down and 2 for the Cardinals. Tight end McBride in motion. Hurst has the first down and more. Tackle was made by Donald Frank. Another 7-yard gain for Garrison Hurst.
Kenny, the big test today will be for that Cardinal offensive line that has been shuffled around. Really, the only guy that's been there the whole time is Duval Love right here. Right here, you have Tharp moving to the left tackle, eliminate Dye. You got Cunningham hurt. Daphne's moved up and eliminate these guys and move Gray up to the starter. So there's been a lot of shuffling going on.
Offensive line by committee. Now they've done a good job over the first 2 plays from scrimmage. Craig to the air for the first time, and he is taken down. Jeff Grady along with John Randall. Randall with 52 career sacks, 5.5 this season.
One of the things they knew that Bernard Daphne was going to have to get some help. This time Randall's over All-Pro Duval Love. He just takes and gives him a power rush, and it's actually 3 Minnesota linemen who meet at Dave Craig for the sack. But John Randall, who's known for his quickness, goes to the power and pushes Duval Love back. Right there you see Esra Tuaolo making the hit. And Brady, NFC Defensive Player of the Week last week, makes the recovery.
Yes, starting in place of Jack Del Rio, and he does it again here today. The pitch back goes to Robert Smith. Smith missed the last 2 games. Back in there here today, 3 yards on first down. Warren Moon, along with Dave Craig, the 2 oldest starting quarterbacks in the NFL, eclipsed the 40,000-yard mark. 1 week ago, Stussy, McDaniel, former Cardinal Jeff Christie, the center, David Dixon filling in for Chris Hinton, and Stringer Smith. The 2 wide receivers, Carter and Reed, double tight end Andrew Jordan and Adrian Cooper. Second down and 7. Smith once again. Smith forced out of bounds by Lorenzo Lynch. Cardinals defense, which has allowed 178 yards per game on the ground alone. Simmons, Wilson, Swan, and Bankston up front. The Cardinals linebacking core, second-year man Jameer Miller out of UCLA with Eric Hill and Seth Joyner. Tito Paul gets the start, along with Aeneas Williams, and the safeties Terry Hogue and Lorenzo Lynch. Third down and 4. Vikings on the Cardinals 31. Moon swings it out. The pass is complete. First down, Chris Carter.
And there it is. Just as we talked about the three-step drop, Warren Moon goes back, completes a 12-yard pass to Chris Carter. All about timing there. He knows that Carter can get open. That's what they expect him to do today.
Chris Carter now with 61 receptions, 6th in the NFC. Remember, he played for Buddy Ryan in Philadelphia and was waived after 3 seasons.
And he said that was the best thing that could have ever happened to him as a football player when Buddy Ryan waived him.
What a career he's put together in Minnesota. Moon, quick drop once again. Jake Reed could not hold on. And right now for a McDonald's game break, let's go to James Brown in Hollywood.
Action already, Kenny. San Francisco, Dallas. Second play of the game for San Francisco. Guess who? Jerry Rice, 81 yards to pay dirt. The 49ers strike first, lead at 7-0 in the first. Back to Kenny and Anthony.
So the 49ers out to the quick lead.
Yep, real big game for that 49er football team. I mean, you really don't have to say a whole lot about that game.
Second down and 10, double tight end for the Vikings. Charles Evans takes the handoff. The play is blown dead. Our referee this afternoon is Howard Rowe.
Prior to the snap, we've got a false start on number 80 offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Chris Carter, the wide receiver.
So this forces the Vikings back. It will be second down and 15. The Cardinals 24. Arizona turned the ball over on their first possession. A fumble by Craig. Moon, another 3-step drop. And it is incomplete. The intended receiver this time, the tight end, Adrian Cooper.
Well, right here we take a look at Robert Smith. The big question mark was that ankle. Is it healthy enough to hold up? And one of the things he has going for him, as you see all the tape on both of his ankles, is that they're not playing on the AstroTurf, but they're playing on natural grass. That should take some of the pounding, some of the, how tough it is to run on turf away from him with that tender ankle.
And as you mentioned during the open, in his absence, it was the rookie James Stewart who took over last week. Right now on third down, Amp Lee in the backfield. And Moon's pass is broken up by the rookie Tito Paul. So it will be fourth down and long. And the field goal unit will come on for the Vikings. Fuad Reveiz, who earlier this season set a National Football League record, hitting 31 consecutive field goals. He's missed only 3 this year, all from 47 or longer. And this attempt will be from 43 yards. Reveiz 38 of his last 38 from under 45. Make it 39 of 39. 43-yard field goal by Fuad Reveiz. Following the Cardinals' turnover, Vikings take the 3-0 lead.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. Drivers wanted. By IBM, solutions for a small planet. And by Visa, official card of the NFL.
Kenny Albert, Anthony Munoz from Sun Devil Stadium, where the Vikings have jumped out on top 3-0. 43-yard Fuad Reveiz field goal. Reveiz will kick it off. The ball will roll out of the end zone. So the Cardinals will start out on their own 20-yard line. Dave Craig fumbled on the third play from scrimmage during Arizona's first drive, and he has fumbled the ball more than any other player in National Football League history. Look who is number 2 on the list.
Warren Moon, number 2. In fact, 6 behind David Craig. Right here you take a look at Warren Moon with the baseball hat on.
Slow starts for the Cardinals last week. On their first play from scrimmage, Chad Fan fumbled. Brock Broncos recovered. Here today, third play from scrimmage. Dave Craig turns the ball over. 1st and 10 from the 20. Larry Centers up the middle. Gain of 4 yards. Centers has done the job both on the ground and via the air this year. 55 receptions. He's on pace to break the NFL record for receptions by a running back, set by Roger Craig with 92 back in 1985.
You know, you can look at that and say, well, he's having a great year receiving the football, but then you talk to some people and they say, well, it's not necessarily good for the offense if you have to pass to your running back all the time. You got 2 excellent wide receivers.
4-yard gain by Centers, 2nd and 6. Craig fumbles it again, and then hands off to Centers. So Dave Craig having trouble holding on to the football. 2 fumbles, the first 5 plays from scrimmage.
Well, I think you have to look at a couple things there. Sure, you have a new center in there, but in Jamie Dukes, but you've been working here for quite a while, as you see it right here in the middle where he does not get the ball. He comes out of there and it's just kind of hanging on his fingers, but then maybe he's looking across the line of scrimmage and he's looking at number 93 there for the Vikings, John Randall. Maybe that's adding to it also.
Craig out of the shotgun, hands it off. Hurst is pulled down by Broderick Thomas. So 3 and out for the Cardinals.
Well, this is not a way to start the ball game offensively when this man here has to be feeling some heat for the lack of lack of wins, I guess you can say, with this Cardinal football team, especially after coming into Arizona here and claiming that he was going to have a winner. That's not a way to start the football game. 2 consecutive weeks, as we've mentioned, a fumble now, or a fumbled after a pass catch, and then a fumbled snap a couple times here.
High snap, Fiegels gets it off. David Palmer back deep, looks up into the sun. Palmer from the 18 finds a hole, all the way up to the 40. 22-yard return by Palmer. He was met by Anthony Edwards. 8-yard punt by Fiegels. Yes, there are Vikings in the Valley of the Sun.
They are. They're here with their full, and then you have, I think, the Cardinal fans with their bags on their heads.
Cardinals started out 1 and 5. Trail here 3-0. Good starting field position for the Vikings. James Stewart, the rookie out of Miami, 5th-round draft pick, who gained only 1 yard up until last week, and then last week against the Packers, 13 carries, 63 yards.
Kenny, here's a play that a lot of the teams have been running against the Cardinal defense and being successful, but right there, Bernard Wilson gets through. What they're doing with the play is they line up another tight end in the hip behind the one tight end. They take the tackle and block him down and pull the guard, and they try to hit that crease between the double team of the 2 tight ends and the guard pulling.
Bernard Wilson was replaced by Keith McCants. Throw to the air. It is complete. Jake Reed out of bounds up near the first down marker. Gain of 6.
Jake Reed, a big physical wide receiver. A lot of people compare him to the Herman Moore type. You know, up in Detroit, Herman Moore, the big guy. And here you have Jake Reed as you get him one-on-one on the outside with this big size, and once he catches the ball, it's going to be tougher for one guy to bring him down. As you see right there, Lorenzo Lynch does not bring him down. He gets a few extra yards.
3rd down and about 3. 3 wide receivers. Move up to Carter. 1st down and more. Finally knocked out of bounds by Lorenzo Lynch, a gain of 10 yards.
Well, as we talked to Warren Moon yesterday, he said the couple things that have to happen this football game. Right here he mentioned number 80, Chris Carter, and the other one is 86, Jake Reed, have to beat their guys, win on the outside, along with the offensive line blocking the 8-man front. And so far in this football game, Carter and Reed have the advantage.
Carter 2 receptions today. Last year here in Arizona, a career-high 14 for 167 yards. Moon passed for 355 in that game. Yet the Vikings lost. The pitch back goes to Stewart. Bottled up, Clyde Simmons in there, along with Jameer Miller.
Clyde Simmons on that defense is a guy that has been getting a lot of heat this year for lack of stats. People look at the sacks and the quarterback pressures and they say, what's wrong with this guy? He came over from the Eagles for big money, but he's not getting the sacks. In fact, he comes into the day with 4 sacks. They expect this guy to be up there in double digits, but you talk to the Cardinals defensive staff and he's doing a lot more than just rushing the passer, and he grades out well every week.
19 sacks just 3 years ago. Moon on second down under pressure from Simmons. What a catch. Jake Reed extending high in the air, pulling it down, and a gain of 8.
You know, here's a guy, as we talked to head coach Denny Green, we said it seems that every game you watch Jake Reed, he seems to be getting better and better, and his confidence level gets higher and higher. And he says, no question about it. And right here, you see him coming back to the football. Aeneas Williams, one of the best corners in the leagues, and you have Lorenzo Lynch right there covering him. But there's no way that Jake Reed is going to be denied making this catch. You see right there, nice grab, going back to the football and coming down with it.
Vikings call timeout on 3rd down and 2. 6:39 to go in this first quarter from Sun Devil Stadium. It's the Vikings over the Cardinals. 3-0. Dennis Green and the Minnesota Vikings look to get back in the playoff picture. They lost 3 in a row prior to last week's last-second victory over Green Bay.
Right here we take a look at Todd Stussy, number 73, as we talked about Clyde Simmons on the Cardinals defense. Stussy's job will be to stop Simmons from getting a warm room today.
And it is now 3rd down and 2. Boone, quick drop, has the first down and more. Amp Lee, that's his 14th catch on 3rd down this year. That led to a Vikings first down.
20 yards on that catch right here. You see Amp Lee coming out of the backfield. And what a guy to have. I mean, you have 2 great wide receivers in Jake Reed and Chris Carter. Here you got a guy that is just as good catching the football, but he lines up in the backfield. And right there he shows a little toughness. They can't get him down right away.
You know, we talked about centers leading all NFL running backs in receptions. Amp Lee is 4th. First down for the Vikings on the Cardinals 16. Looking far side, and he threw it away under pressure. Warren Moon had completed his 4 previous pass attempts, so it will be 2nd down. Moon over the last 2 weeks, Anthony, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. On the season, 13 touchdown passes and just 9 picks.
That's something that I'm sure he's real excited about, and Dennis Green and the head coach and the coaching staff is excited about, because on the other side, they've taken the ball away quite a few times.
6 times last week. Moon under pressure. It is Clyde Simmons, who we spoke about just moments ago. The stats have not been there, but he gets to move.
Well, you know, they've been asking a lot of him. They ask him to cover backs coming out of the backfield, dropping in to coverage, and all of a sudden, right here, he gets a chance to rush the passer, and he gets through. You see him right there. He's kind of staying back a little bit, and it looks like he's maybe looking for the quick pass, but then he says, hey, nobody's in front of me. I'm just going to take it and go to the quarterback, and he does, and he gets the sack.
Career sack number 87. His 5th this year. 3rd down and 22. Moon just gets the snap off. Jake Reed. Not enough for the first down, but he gains a chunk of yardage down to the 13. Pick up of 15 yards on the play. Terry Hogue made the stop. And once again, Juan Revés fronts on.
I'll tell you, right there on that play, Jake Reed had his guy just turned in circles, and that's what allowed him to make that catch. As you see right here, Aeneas Williams heading backwards after he made a full circle. Nice move by Jake Reed, getting that separation. And, of course, with that short drop, Warren Moon's going to unload that ball in a hurry.
33-yard attempt. The holder is Mike Saxon. And this one is no good. First miss for Reves from under 45 yards since last October here against the Cardinals. He had made 39 consecutive field goals from 45 or less. Reves wide left from 33.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered.
3-0 Vikings lead. Cardinals take over on their own 23-yard line. Craig rolling left, looks downfield, has a receiver. It's the rookie Frank Sanders. Up to the 30. Gain of 7. Charles Mitzi on the stop. Sanders' second-round draft pick out of Auburn. What a season he's enjoyed.
Tremendous season. In fact, you know, the thing about this offense with Sanders in there and Rob Moore and David Craig, it's not that they can't move the football. Their problem is putting it in the end zone. Right here, as you see him taking it to the outside, and he's wide open right there. Broderick Thomas has that flat there, but he can't stay up with Sanders at the wide receiver. So their main goal is to get the ball in the end zone, which they've not been able to do. They move the ball pretty well.
On 2nd and 3, Garrison Hurst, good second effort. Leans across the 31, down to the 32. Donald Frank made the stop after the 2-yard gain, so it will be 3rd and short. Cardinals have had trouble here in the first quarter. Dave Craig fumbled twice, losing the first one, and then 3 plays and out on the second drive. In contrast, the Vikings have run 17 offensive plays.
Well, what you see right there, you see Dave Atkins, the offensive coordinator for this Cardinals football team.
Looking for their second first down of the game, and they have it. Garrison Hurst out to the 45-yard line. 13-yard gain. He was finally taken down by Broderick Thomas. And for Garrison Hurst, that's 32 yards here in the first quarter.
What happens here, Kenny, is he starts the ball here, then cuts it back to the backside. The Cardinals offensive line does a nice job pushing Ezra Tuaola to the right side, and you see that big gap backside. And really the closest guy to him is John Randall, but he can't make the tackle. He starts to the outside, the pass rushing technique, and then he's got to recover too late.
Craig on first down was under heavy pressure. He was hit as he got rid of the football, and Craig looks to be shaken up. He's holding his left hand.
That is not a good sign right there. You're probably looking at a thumb. You see Mike Buck, the backup quarterback, searching for his helmet, and you can tell David Craig's in a lot of pain. You see number 98 right here, Ezra Tuaola, makes a nice spin move around Duval Love, who tries to cut him, but he does not have success cutting him down. That's what an offensive lineman, his last gasp was to try to cut the defensive lineman once he's beat, but it doesn't work there, and Tuaola makes the hit on David Craig.
Tough first quarter for the 16-year veteran out of defunct Milton College in Wisconsin. And there is Mike Buck warming up on the sidelines.
What happens a lot of times, offensive lines will slide to designated players. Right here, they're sliding towards John Randall, number 93, who you have to pay a lot of attention to and give help to your guard. Therefore, Ezra Tuaola reads that, and as they start to slide to the right, he spins back to the opposite side. And right there, you see the defensive lineman just falling right on him.
Once again this season, the Cardinals are proud.
Looked to be the left wrist.
Located in northwest corner.
Craig walking it off on the sideline.
Kenny, the thing about that injury on the left hand, that's the hand you have up there in the center. and that's the one that takes the full impact on the football. That's going to be tough if it's that left hand and he has to take a snap from center. You see him right there clinching the fist.
Remember Neil O'Donnell's injury earlier this year was the left hand, and he had problems taking the snap from Vermonte Dawson. So Mike Buck comes in, the former New Orleans Saint, who has thrown only 60 passes prior to this season in 4 years, 15 of 25 this season. Down, hands it off. Hurst across midfield. Gain of 5 yards. Once again, Charles Mincy made the stop. Mike Buck, 15 of 25, came in mop-up duty last week in Denver. He played week 2 in Philadelphia, completing 13 of 21 passes, but prior to this year, had thrown only 60 passes over 4 seasons. He did not play in the NFL last year.
Right there, they're checking the shoulders. The trainer has his hand up in the shoulder pad area.
3rd down and 5. Buck's pass is incomplete. In and out of the fingertips. Rob Moore, the intended receiver. Dwayne Washington on the coverage. And the Cardinals will be forced to punt.
Dwayne Washington, number 20, he was one of 7 rookies to start every game last year, and here he is once again, and here's a reason why he's starting. Rob Moore tries to get that separation, but Dwayne Washington, nice move on the football, breaks to it and breaks it up.
Jeff Fiegel's first punt today was 58 yards. David Palmer in single safety. Angling toward the sidelines, and it bounces out at the 27-yard line. The punt officially 9 yards.
18-yard punt.
Well, Anthony, what does the future hold? This Saturday, take a high-tech trip to the battlefield of tomorrow and experience war in the 21st century on a special Encounters, Saturday at 8, 7 Central on Fox.
Interesting.
On the field for the coin flip. To join, visit any Valley McDonald's or the guest services area behind the South Bleachers.
Anthony, 17 yards on the Fiegel's punt.
A little better, but not much. I tell you, when things are going bad, they're going bad offensively, and all of a sudden the punter just shanks them there.
Moves pass, and once again it's Chris Carter. Pushed out of bounds by Tito Paul, a gain of about 9 yards. Chris Carter's 3rd reception of this first quarter.
Interesting, last night when we were talking to Chris Carter, he had a wrap on his elbow, and we asked him what's going on there, and he said, well, he had a bruised bursa sac, and I asked him if that was from the hit that he gave Lenny McGill last week, and right there he gave a similar hit to Tito Paul. And that's the thing with Chris Carter. He's 6'3", 206. He's not afraid to get in there and mix it up with those defensive backs.
First down and more. James Stewart, who gained 63 yards last week against the Packers. Check that, it was Robert Smith on the carry. 26 Smith, 28 Stewart. We're high above Sun Devil Stadium.
We sure are. It's quite a ways up here, and that 6 looked like an 8. Here's the one thing we talked about in the opening was his ability to cut back. And right there, he does a nice job. He starts it out to their left, and it looks like he really doesn't have any problem taking it back to the right. That ankle looks fine.
First and 10 for the Vikings. Smith and Evans in the backfield. Smith once again. Big yardage across the 40. Down to the 33-yard line. 20-yard gain. Smith does not look like a man who's missed the last 2.
Well, not on the cutback, but when he started to go upfield in full stride, you see he starts here, then brings it back. Nice job by that offensive line, allowing him to have that vision. You see him just taking all those red shirts one way, but when he starts it upfield, you can see right here, he doesn't look completely healthy. And when he gets out of bounds, it looks like he's feeling that ankle. But right there, no effect. He made a nice cutback. Not only his physical ability, but he has to have great vision to see that backside open up, and that's what he has.
And that will do it for this first quarter.
Robert Smith on the carry. Swan
On the 43-yard field goal by Fuad Remains, the Vikings lead the Cardinals 3-0. Kenny Albert, Anthony Munoz back at Sun Devil Stadium. Anthony, we've heard of obstructed view seats in stadiums around the country, but what about obstructed cacti seats?
Well, I think they might have realized that was there. I think they kind of peek around that. I think they have their way of watching the football game.
In that first quarter, Vikings took the 3-0 lead on the 43-yard field goal by Fuad Remains, but then he missed from 33. They call him Fuad-O-Matic in Minnesota, but not this time.
I tell you, the career he has, that's a great name for him. That's something rare that you see out of Fuad, but I'm sure he'll bounce back, and the next one he'll drill it right through the middle.
First play of the second quarter, 2nd down and 10. Robert Smith will look to be a bit shaken up on the sidelines towards the end of that first quarter with the ankle injury, gains 9.
Well, I thought maybe he was, hurting a little bit after that run, but right here, he takes it one way, then all of a sudden he stops on a dime and he goes the other way, so he doesn't show any effect of that ankle right there.
There's a timeout on the field for a measurement.
You see, as he's being tackled, he does get up a little slow.
And the chains are brought out. Smith out near the first down marker, ball spotted on the 23. The Vikings have the first down by a nose.
Right here we take a look. After 5 rushes, 43 yards, not a bad average, but you can tell that he's in some pain. That's one of the things coming into this season when they wanted Robert Smith to be their main back. A lot of people had questioned his durability, but here he is coming off an ankle injury. He's in there trying to play in this football game. He hasn't played the last 2.5 games, but he's in there giving it a shot today.
Smith with 43 yards on 5 carries, including the 20-yarder. First down for the Vikings. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Boone looking end zone. And a great defensive play by Aeneas Williams, who knocked it away at the last instant.
Aeneas Williams, a Pro Bowler last year, having a tremendous career here with the Cardinals. You see Warren Moon going back a little deeper this time and has plenty of time to throw the football. But right there, number 35, Aeneas Williams, going one-on-one with Chris Carter. Nice coverage, and at the last second, just right there in his hip pocket and bats the ball away.
2nd down and 10. Stewart bottled up by Eric Swan.
Eric Swan, Buddy Ryan early in his career compared him to Reggie White. In fact, he told us having Swan out of that defense is as important as not having your starting quarterback. That's what they think of Eric Swan.
And Buddy Ryan compared Eric Swan to former Viking, Purple People Eater Alan Page, who Buddy had the pleasure of coaching 2 decades ago. And Swan sat out most of last week's game. He was sick the night before. Flags on the play. The Cardinals defense a bit over-aggressive.
Good thing that flag came down because the Cardinals had everybody coming. Good thing maybe for Warren Moon that flag was thrown there.
Prior to the snap, we got a false start on number 73 and 87 offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
Both Todd Stussy and the tight end Adrian Cooper.
A couple of the Vikings right here. You see the guys. I mean, they're going to come right here. You'll see this right up the gut. They're just picking their gap, but right there you see Stussy and Cooper jumping.
Forces the Vikings back. 3rd down and 14. There's offensive coordinator Brian Billick. Vikings back on the Cardinals 27. Flags once again.
I tell you, and I really believe that the Cardinals are forcing or making the Vikings jump because they're bringing everybody to the line of scrimmage. Right there, Terry Hogue had come out of the middle and he was going to blitz, but the Vikings move again.
Number 62 offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
That's the center, Jeff Christie, former Arizona Cardinal.
Well, and the thing about it is you see right here, Terry Ho coming in, but Jeff Christie, you can barely see it there, but he kind of double pumps. He goes to snap it, he says, oh, maybe not quite yet. Right here, you'll see it. He starts to snap the ball, he stops, he cannot do that.
3rd and 19. Moon with good protection over the top. Touchdown! Jake Reed wide open in the end zone. 32-yard touchdown pass from Warren Moon. And it is now 9-0 Minnesota.
Well, that was one of the things that Warren Moon told us and Dennis Green told us, that they felt that they could get Jake Reed open in the middle because they had a tendency to bring their safety out of the middle and bring him up to the line of scrimmage. And right there, Jake Reed, he gives Aeneas Williams a nice move to the outside, takes it inside, and there's no help for Aeneas Williams. And you see Warren Moon excited about that one.
Jake Reed's 4th touchdown the last 5 games. Juan Reves has made his last 81 extra point attempts. Jake Reed, 4 receptions today, 61 yards, and his 5th touchdown of the season.
Cardinal fans, please turn your attention to the video board for the Safeway Grocery Punt Race.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Budweiser, proud sponsor of football wherever it's played. This Bud's for you.
Vikings lead 10-0 early 2nd quarter. That was the 43rd play this season of 20 or more yards against the Cardinals defense in just 10 games. Marcus Dowdell. Dowdell taken down shy of the 30-yard line, 22-yard return. Richard Brown made the stop.
Kenny, they did exactly what they thought the Cardinals. He gives them a little outside fake, and you see the safety bite up in here, leaving that area open, and Warren Moon has enough time to make that throw. That safety bites on Carter coming over the middle, and Jake Reed has all that room wide open for the touchdown.
8-play drive, encompassing 68 yards. Dave Craig has checked back in for the Cardinals. Took that hit on his left wrist on the Cardinals' last possession. Craig to the air, looking for Sanders. Oh, what a catch! What a catch by Frank Sanders, who was ruled down at the 36. And the pass goes for 36 yards.
Well, he had Corey Fuller and Charles Mincy right there with them, but he elevates himself and goes up, and he grabs the football to make a nice catch. You see the nice protection, and Craig lays the ball. You see right there, Fuller trying to make the play, and then Mincy coming over late, but he just basically takes the ball away from Corey Fuller, who did not have that bad of coverage on him, but he just makes a fantastic catch.
The tight end McBride in motion. The handoff goes to Garrison Hurst. And right now, for another McDonald's game break, let's go to Hollywood and James Brown.
Kenny and Anthony, a head scratcher taking place in Irving. San Francisco is just handing it to Dallas. This is Derek LaVille taking it in for the score. It is now 24-0 San Francisco, 12:43 left in the second. Let's take you back to Arizona. Kenny and Anthony.
All we can say is wow.
You can say is wow, and they had their backs against the wall, and they came out so far like the champions that they've been.
24-0 49ers over the Cowboys. Garrison Hurst across the 30. Ed McDaniel got a piece of him. Gain of 4 yards. Hurst on the day, 8 carries, 44 yards.
We'll take a look at big number 71, Larry Tharp going against Alexander. And I'd give him a holding there, a little bit of an almost takedown. He had the big bear hug on him.
So you would throw the flag.
I tell you, after watching that one, I don't agree with many of the offensive holdings, but that one I might have had to throw a flag.
So it is now 3rd down and 4. Larry Centers comes in motion. Greg, quick pass, and they have the first down. Rob Moore The Cardinals' leading receiver, a gain of 10 on the play.
Rob Moore, an excellent wide receiver. Big cushion he has right there. I mean, if you're going to drop back 3 steps and throw the football, that's going to, even if you have a great ability to break on the ball, there's no way you're going to get that one, and it doesn't happen for Dwayne Washington. Craig throwing the ball nicely right there, and Rob Moore makes the catch, and Craig looks healthy to me.
Certainly does. First down on the Vikings 20. Larry Centers takes the handoff and gains close to 10 yards. Finally taken down by Jeff Brady.
Well, that has to be encouraging. You see Duval Love, and you have Jamie Dukes in the middle blocking right here, and the coaching staff has to be excited. You see Duval Love just taking Ezra Tuaola enough to get centers through there. But as we mentioned earlier, this is a huge challenge for this offensive line.
Second down and 1. Garrison Hurst, first down Cardinals. So it will be first and goal for the Arizona Cardinals, who have had trouble reaching the end zone this season. Last week defeated by the Denver Broncos 38-6. In that game, they actually ran 6 more offensive plays than Denver did. They controlled the ball 5 more minutes than the Broncos. The Broncos with a couple of quick trips downfield. They scored in their first 5 possessions. And they blew out the Cardinals at Mile High. Right now, Arizona trailing 10-0. First and goal on the 9. Craig fakes. Now throws it near side, and it is almost picked off by Broderick Thomas.
And he should be upset because he had his hands on that football. Dave Craig had to throw that ball sidearm. Throws it sidearm and just about gets it picked off. You see right there, right in front of you, Broderick Thomas putting a little chuck right there, and Oscar McBride. And then all of a sudden the ball's thrown just as Barker hits Craig. And then Broderick Thomas knows that he had a chance to make an interception right there. See, look at that. He gets both hands. He doesn't look it into his hands. He looks it right through his hands.
He looks it down into the end zone. Craig on second and goal. Quick strike. Rob Moore. Touchdown Cardinals.
Well, we took a look a few plays ago where Dwayne Washington was giving Rob Moore a lot of cushion. The exact same thing happened on that play. And they read it. Dave Craig got back there in a hurry. Right here, it's just right here, and Craig makes the throw to hit him for a touchdown. But that's such a big cushion, especially down here on the goal line. That's a good 10 yards, and there's no way that the safety can get over and help him.
Rob Moore's 4th touchdown this year. The extra point attempt by Greg Davis is good. And the Cardinals have pulled within 3. It's Minnesota 10, Arizona 7. Back from Sun Devil Stadium in a moment. The Arizona Cardinals have pulled within 3 on the 9-yard touchdown pass from Dave Craig to Rob Moore, the former New York Jet, coming over in the offseason trade for Ronald Moore and a first-round draft pick. So both teams getting more out of that deal.
I think the Cardinals got more, though, out of that game.
So far.
Yeah, so far they got more.
The kickoff is played by Padre Ismael, Rob Moore's teammate in college at Syracuse University. Ismael with a 25-yard return. So Warren Moon and the Vikings back to the offense when we return.
Kenny, the coaches and David Craig were right on top of this. They saw the cushion here, then they saw the safety there, realizing if they run a quick slant with that cushion and the safety in the middle, that there's no way that the corner can get the help. And right here you see it. Quick drop, slant, throw the football, touchdown. Dwayne Washington is just, I think, is playing a little too far off on the wide receivers, especially down near the goal line.
And now for the Vikings, 1st and 10 on the 28-yard line. Leading 10-7. Moon, another 3-step drop. And it is incomplete. The intended receiver, Jake Reed, already has 4 receptions today, plus the touchdown. Anthony, our Aflac trivia question: who was the defensive line coach of the Purple People Eaters during their Super Bowl season in 1976 when the Vikings played in Super Bowl 11? Who was their defensive line coach?
I'll tell you one thing, he had a phenomenal group to work with. Page and Eller and Larson, just a Marshall.
We'll get back to that Affleck trivia answer in just a moment. On second down, Moon looking for Reed again. And it will be 3rd down and 10. Now for another McDonald's game break. What is going on in Dallas? Here's James Brown.
Kenny, a rough first quarter for Troy Aikman. Take a look at Marquez Pope, number 23, with the corner blitz. He gets by, pushes Aikman down on that left knee. That aggravates the knee. Then take a look at this. Dana Stubblefield gets by Nate Newton. He grabs a hold of Aikman, pushes him down with all of his weight on that knee. That bruised it more. Aikman is out of the game. He will not return. Back to Kenny and Anthony.
Niners continue to lead 24-0. Here in Arizona, Vikings 10, Cardinals 7, 3rd down and 10. Moon to Chris Carter. Leaves the first tackler, dives across the 39-yard line, looks to have the first down.
Kenny, the thing I noticed, this Cardinal defense, prior to this play, they have guys running all over the place. They had a cornerback running across the football field. The front, they're just shifting as we take a look here. I mean, you have this guy running this way. He came from over here, and these guys are all moving up front here. To me, they're disorganized. They're not sure before this play. Looks like a fire drill there. All of a sudden, the Vikings react. They hit Carter there. Nice game.
Well, there's the 46 defense for you.
Well, I would think this is his 2nd year here. You would think that the guys he has there, they were here last year, they would know what to do.
We were talking to Chris Carter last night, who spent 3 years in Philadelphia with Buddy Ryan. Chris told us it was very hard to practice against Buddy's defense. Earlier, we had spoken with Warren Moon, who played in Houston when Buddy was the defensive coordinator there, and Warren said that he really only had the opportunity to practice against the 46 in training camp during the regular season. The Oilers would practice against a scout team's defense. Robert Smith on 1st down.
And an interesting fact this week for the Cardinals, they changed up practice, and instead of the first offense going against the scout team and vice versa, the first team units practiced against each other, so they had a chance to see the Buddy Ryan defense, meaning David Craig and the first offense.
And up north, the Minnesota Vikings practiced indoors the last 3 days to get acclimated to the Arizona heat. They practiced in their bubble, and they turned the heat way up. Here today, 83 degrees at game time, about 10 degrees warmer on the field. Nice cutback move by Smith. 6 more yards, so Smith now with 52 on 7 carries here in the first half. The answer to our Aflac trivia question: Buddy Ryan was the defensive coordinator, or defensive line coach, I should say, with the 1976 Minnesota Vikings, who lost Super Bowl 11.
I tell you, like I said, I know as a former offensive lineman, I'd have had my work cut out for me preparing for those guys, especially being in their division and playing them twice a year.
You never played against those guys?
In fact, I did play against Alan Page.
3 wide receivers on 3rd down. And the Vikings have another first down. Chris Carter steps out of bounds at the Cardinals 46.
You know, the thing about this Viking offense, you have 2 great wide receivers, Jake Reed, who is coming into his own, Chris Carter, who is phenomenal. And the thing that happened earlier with the touchdown catch, and they'll tell you that Jake Reed is the wide receiver they look for downfield to make the big plays. And Chris Carter is the guy that comes out of in motion, comes out of the flat and makes the catches, and then gains extra yardage after the catch. So Chris Carter's not the big play guy downfield, although he will make some big plays.
They've combined for 9 receptions so far today. Robert Smith, flag thrown. Smith was taken down by Jameer Miller, and Terry Hogue, Lorenzo Lynch in as well. This This one is on the Cardinals.
It's like one of the defensive players had a hand going up to the face, somewhere that the hand should not be.
Illegal use of the hands to the face. Number 98 defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Eric Swan, the defensive tackle, might be coming from a little bit of frustration as the Vikings have been successful taking the ball and running it backside. You can tell he's talking to the official. He might have felt the hand in the face, but I'm sure a lot of times the guys are talking, well, you know, watch his hand too, because he has a tendency to put it in my face too. So I think you better call him both ways.
Following the penalty, first down and 5. Scotty Graham has checked in, the lone back for the Vikings. 2 wide receivers. Play action, Moon looking downfield, and he has taken down Clyde Simmons. His second sack this afternoon.
Well, it's actually Eric Swan doing the old Ernest Givens glide move after his sack. Right here, you see the big guy not happy about the penalty, hand going to the face. Right there, you see him getting through. Warren Moon avoids some of the pass rush, but as he steps up, and it looks like Swan has about 2 or 3 guys around him. But the difference there on that play is that right here, you see his little move. The thing that happens is the 3 offensive linemen stop their feet, stop playing, but Eric Swan continues to go, and he gets the sack.
Cardinals came in with only 13 sacks over their first 9 games. 2 so far today. Moon airing it out. The intended receiver was Reed. Coverage from Aeneas Williams.
Well, Aeneas was beat the long touchdown by Reed, but he said no way here. Reed tried to take him this time, a little move to the inside, then go back towards the corner of the end zone, but he did not take that fake. And right here, he's stride for stride. And you can't get better coverage than that.
Third down, 16.
Aeneas Williams last year, 9 interceptions, tied for the conference lead. Big fan favorite here in Arizona. Third down and 16. Moon out of the shotgun. Under pressure, lost it up. No receivers in the vicinity. And the Vikings will be forced to punt the football.
A lot of pressure by that Cardinal defense. Right there, you see Ronnie Jones, the defensive coordinator. You see Kadri Ishmael right here. Nice jam by Aeneas, but he slips a little bit there, getting off the line of scrimmage, and then he almost falls again here. But in the meantime, the Cardinals had pretty good pressure on Warren Moon.
Deep for Arizona, Anthony Edwards.
Mike Saxon in his 11th National Football League season. Anthony Edwards awaiting the punt. And the Vikings unable to down the ball, so the Cardinals will start on their own 20. 45-yard punt by Saxon. When they were growing up on the streets of New York, they used to break the law. Now they are the law. The coolest cops on television work the toughest beat in the nation. Ice-T guest stars on a brand new New York Undercover, Thursday at 9, 8 Central on Fox. Dave Craig and the Cardinals, 1st and 10 on their own 20, trailing the Vikings 10-7. Garrison Hurst takes the handoff, hits the cut right, and he is met by John Randall.
Well, the only problem there for the Cardinals is you have to block that guy right there, number 93. Phenomenal quickness. You talk to the guys, and all he talks about, all he thinks is football. You see him right here at the right defensive tackle. Gets away from Larry Tharp, who's blocking down on him. And after that, he's just wrap up the running back and take him down. But you talk to the guys, like I was saying, and no matter where you are in the locker room, wherever, he's talking football. If you're into a conversation about something else, he'll come up and give you a pass rush move.
Loss of 4 on the play. Second down and 14. Another sidearm pass, Garrison Hurst. Gain of 2 yards for Garrison Hurst, still about 2 yards short of the original line of scrimmage. You know, getting back to John Randall, what was he doing about 2 hours before the game with his fellow defensive lineman, Esra Tuaolo? They were engaged in a field goal kicking contest.
They were out there, they were holding for each other, and it appeared that neither one of them was real confident in holding the football for the other, because there was times where they'd be holding the football, and they would approach it to kick it, and they would let go. And, you know, physically, you might be dealing with pulling a groin or something. They were having fun before the game, keeping things loose.
Craig under pressure, throws it upfield. Orlando Thomas, let's see, did he trap it, or is it ruled an interception?
Well, they just gave the first down signal for the Vikings, so it is an interception by Orlando Thomas as of right now. There he goes.
The rookie Orlando Thomas, his 4th interception this year.
The reason why David Craig had to throw that one over, threw it up, was the pressure. You see Brady coming in on the blitz, getting through, Randall chasing him, Roy Barker diving for him, and then Dave Craig throwing the ball on the run. And Orlando Thomas coming up with the interception right here. Has a pretty good view of the field, but right there, I believe it's Anthony Edwards, 83, trying to get to the football, but Orlando Thomas makes the interception.
Vikings from the Cardinals 39. James Stewart gains 1 on the play. Vikings defense leading the NFL in interceptions, including the 4 by Orlando Thomas. And well, what a week it's been. His girlfriend, Monique, gave birth on Monday to an 8.5-pound daughter, Elena Monique, in Lafayette, Louisiana. 6 days later, the 4th interception of his rookie season.
Doing a phenomenal job. One of those young guys back there, along with Corey Fuller, playing well for Tony Dungy.
Moon looking for Carter. First down inside the 10. In double coverage, Chris Carter able to make the catch. He gains 28.
Just when you think Chris Carter has made one great catch, he comes back and makes another phenomenal catch. Last week, he had a defender hanging all over him against the Packers. The flag is thrown. He comes down with the football. Right here, you see the ball thrown exactly where it had to be thrown, and he slides to the ground. Look at that. The ball just gets right past the hand of Tito Paul, and Carter's concentration watching the football right in, and he makes the catch. And he also has Terry Hogue right there on top of him as he's making the catch.
Chris Carter with 6 receptions, 76 yards here in the first half. Last year, 14 receptions, his career high against the Cardinals.
2-1-1.
And Kenny, going back to the game last year,
Thank you.
You know, what happened is the Cardinals completely shut down the Vikings run game. I believe it was 18 yards that the Vikings had running the football, so they knew that the Vikings had to pass the ball, and he still goes out and he gets all those catches.
The 2-minute warning, and Moon could not get the snap off. So the 2-minute warning from Sun Devil Stadium, with the Vikings leading the Cardinals 10-7. Back in a moment.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered. By the newly restyled Toyota Corolla, we're looking forward to tomorrow. And by Docker's Flat Front Khakis, proud makers of nice pants.
Back on Fox from Sun Devil Stadium. Vikings on the Cardinals' 9-yard line. This drive started on Arizona's 38. Minnesota has scored on 12 of 16 drives this season, starting in opponent's territory. Ryan Billett, the Vikings offensive coordinator, on 1st and goal from the 9. Scotty Graham. Graham down to the 6, met by Lorenzo Lynch.
Once again, they're running that cutback play. And talking to Warren Moon, he was surprised about the people running so easily on this Cardinal defense. And it's obvious right here, the plays they've run this first half, they've been running a lot of cutbacks. One of the things he mentioned to us, and you see on film when you watch this Cardinal defense, is the over pursuit of the linebackers and the defense, which allows the running back to cut it back, and the Vikings have been successful this first half.
Lee and Charles Evans in the backfield. Second and goal. Boone looking end zone. Batted away by Seth Joyner. The intended receiver, the tight end, Adrian Cooper.
And the Cardinals were bringing the blitz again, matching the Seth Joyner one-on-one on Cooper. And you see right there, Eric Hill coming in, right over Corey Stringer being picked up. Right here you see, really the ball just goes off the hands of Adrian Cooper. The ball is not actually tipped by Seth Joyner, but he cannot make right there, just kind of goes through his hands. That would have been a very difficult catch if he would have, or an outstanding catch because it was in a difficult position to make that catch.
Third and goal from the 5. Boone lofts it up. Touchdown Vikings. Chris Carter in the corner of the end zone. The official in the corner ruled touchdown. Now a discussion.
And it'll be interesting to see if they do make that a touchdown call, because prior to that throw, and I believe Tito Paul was back there covering Chris Carter, he was 6 for 6 for 76 yards prior to that throw. So if that's a touchdown, that would make it 7 for 7.
Ruling on the play. We've got a touchdown, a force out.
So Carter was forced out of bounds and is ruled touchdown, his 7th of the season.
Right here you see him being forced out, means if he would have come down without the force of the defender, it would have been a touchdown. But right there you see Tito Paul, you see 1 foot, and then the second foot is clearly out of bounds, but they're saying that he would have had a chance to come down with that second foot had he not been pushed by Tito Paul. I don't know about that. There wasn't a whole lot of space there.
Extra point by Ravains is straight through. 5-yard touchdown pass from Moon to Carter.
Right there you took a look at the rookie out of Ohio State. Same place Chris Carter went to college, Ohio State. As I mentioned, that makes it 7 for 7 receptions against a former Buckeye.
It's a tough day for Tito Paul. Fans may remember his cousin, former Bear safety Marcus Paul.
Right here you see it. Well, again, Kenny, you see the left foot coming down. You see the left hand on the back pushing him out. But he's a good 2.5 feet out of the end zone when he comes down. You know, the only thing I can get from that is the official believes that Chris Carter can drag that right foot down, but he's got a lot of momentum going out towards the back of the end zone to be able to drag that foot.
And the touchdown call was made by the side judge, Nate Jones. Jones ruling touchdown, so Tito Paul takes a seat on the Cardinals bench. Chris Carter, 7th touchdown this season, and what a first half. 7 catches, 81 yards. Carter and Reed each with a touchdown catch. Kickoff by Ravains. It's played at the 5-yard line by Marcus Dowdell. 15-yard return. Not much time for the Cardinals offense. 1 minute, 8 seconds. There is the side judge, Nate Jones, who made the call on the Carter touchdown. Really a judgment call.
It really is. And right there you take a look at Chris Carter without his shoulder pads and jersey on. They were checking out the top of his shoulder. Probably came down on that shoulder after he made the catch. Right there you see outstanding first half, 7 catches for 81 yards, and that call there giving him his first touchdown. And right there you see Tito Paul thinking about that one.
Carter halfway to the 14 receptions, career day a year ago right here in Tempe. Craig out of the shotgun on first down. Sidearms it. Larry Centers close to the first down. And for Larry Centers, his first reception of the game, leading the team with 55. Yes, it was a Cardinals first down. 45 seconds to go. Craig over the middle. And another completion, Anthony Edwards. And now the Cardinals call timeout. 39 seconds to go in this second quarter. Vikings leading the Cardinals 17-7. Coming up on the Dockers halftime, scores and highlights from around the National Football League. That's coming up next on the Dockers halftime. Tough week for Buddy Ryan, who reportedly induced the agent of Larry Tharp and Bernard Wilson, induced Tharp and Wilson to switch agents to his son Jim. So much controversy. Buddy reportedly promised those players higher salaries if they switched agents. His son Jim, a sports agent representing a number of NFL players.
He said, well, I can't comment. My attorney says I can't comment or else I would. You better believe he would make a comment on that.
Yes, he would. Craig airing it out. Sanders, and it was knocked away. Donald Frank, and a flag is thrown. 2 flags with Donald Frank and Orlando Thomas on the double coverage of the rookie Frank Sanders.
Here we'll take a look at the coverage by Donald Frank on Sanders going right here. Real close coverage here, and he just turns and runs, and he really doesn't look back at the football. What he does, not till late. And then late hit coming over Orlando Thomas, because of the initial, it didn't look like pass interference there. If anything, Sanders just kind of has his hand on Donald Frank's back. But then right there, no question about it, a late hit.
Personal foul, number 43. On the defense, unnecessary roughness. Late hit, 15 yards, first down.
You got to have better vision than that and see that the wide receiver has not caught the football, especially when they're coming downfield trying to score some points right before half.
So Orlando Thomas, who picked off Craig earlier, called for the personal foul. With 34 seconds to go, Cardinals approaching field goal territory, now on the Vikings 41. Craig steps up over the middle, and Sanders could not make the reception. Pass a bit overthrown. Sanders with the big play earlier, averaging 18 yards per reception. Also a terrific baseball player in college.
Well, played the baseball left field, played in the World Series for Auburn. In fact, we talked a little bit about that. Asked him his feelings on not playing baseball, and the one thing he said is he doesn't miss the bus rides that he would have had to take if he would have taken the offers coming out of college.
Yes, he was drafted by both the Mariners and the Cubs. Second down, 2nd and 10. Craig sidearms it. Larry centers, close to the first down marker, and the Cardinals call another timeout. 23 seconds on the clock.
Arizona.
Cardinals with one timeout remaining.
That's their second charge.
Next week, it's a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. Some of you will see the Lions battle the Bears, and the Vikings take on the Saints, plus other exciting regional action. It all begins at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Check local listings for the game and time in your area.
Be a little cooler next week. We have a chance to go see the Saints against the same Minnesota Vikings we're watching here, but I think it'll be a few degrees cooler up in Minnesota.
Well, we were told it is 21 degrees today in the Minneapolis area, but we will be inside the Metrodome, fortunately.
That makes it nice, but I think we'll still have to bring out a couple winter coats for the trip up there.
Or just stay inside, stay indoors.
If we can do that, I'm for that.
1st and 10. Cardinals picked up the first down on the previous play. On the Vikings 30, Arizona with one timeout remaining, trailing 17-7. French pass batted at the line. Fernando Smith, number 95, got a piece of it.
Fernando Smith coming up the middle, gets that big paw up, bats it down. If you don't get there, if you can't get the penetration, the next thing you do as a defensive lineman, get that hand up, as you see right there. That's the ball down.
Well, Smith blocked a field goal earlier this year against the Lions.
Second down, 10.
They're batting back Craig's pass attempt. Second down and 10, 19 seconds to go. Craig over the middle, Larry centers. Down to the 20-yard line, a gain of 9. Cardinals do not call timeout. Clock continues to run. And now Craig will stop the clock with 6 seconds to go.
Larry centers, adding to his team leading receptions. They're coming out of the backfield in this hurry-up offense situation. Usually you have one linebacker in there, match him up on the linebacker, and more times than not, you're going to get a victory for Larry centers, just as they have gotten this on this drive here.
Jeff Fiegel's the holder. 40-yard attempt for Greg Davis. Kick by Davis is good. Still 1 second remaining on the clock. So Davis hits from 40. And the Cardinals pull within 17-10.
We take a look at a former teammate of mine, Randy Kirk, as Mike Moores is for the Vikings on the roster for their ability to snap the football, and that's where it all starts. I mean, you can have a great kicker and a great holder, but if you don't have the guy to get that started, you're in some trouble.
Coming up on the Dockers halftime once again, scores and highlights from around the NFL. Now, just a moment ago, we talked about the Buddy Ryan situation with the agent of Larry Tharp and Bernard Wilson. Greg Davis also involved this week off the field. Stormy week off the field for the Cardinals. The kicker Greg Davis filed a grievance against the Cardinals as the 49ers continue to run up the score on the Cowboys, now 31-7. Davis filed a grievance against the Cardinals for not paying contract incentives worth $100,000. The Cardinals claim they are not contractually bound. And FYI, Buddy Ryan was not with the team when the contracts were negotiated, so he was not involved in that situation. Flag on the kickoff. Well, it looks as if the referee Howard Rose says, well, let's see what Howard says. Both teams jogging off the field.
Kicking team was offsides, penalty refused. That's a half.
That's the half, according to Howard Rowe. Buddy Ryan and the Cardinals trailing Dennis Green and the Minnesota Vikings at halftime, 17-10.
Dockers Halftime is brought to you by Dockers Khakis, proud makers of nice pants.
All right, welcome to Dockers Halftime. Along with Terry Bradshaw, I'm James Brown. The game you're watching right now, Minnesota has scored 10 points off of 2 Arizona turnovers, leading at 17-10, that at the half. And look at the shocker here. My goodness.
Bill Bates says hello to Dexter Carter, and then Elvis Kurbach says hello to Jerry Rice. Take it, go inside, 81-yard touchdown reception. Right off the bat, the 49ers shock the emotionless Dallas Cowboys. Troy, there's Urban. He fumbles the ball, makes a little nice catch, turns it over. Merton Hanks scoops it, goes in. That's the little, I don't know what that is. That's a dance, so. Now we see Troy, and he goes down. He's sacked by Dana Stubblefield, injures, bruises his left knee, has to leave the game. Wade Wilson finished at the half, quarterback in the Cowboys as they are being trounced 31-7. That's right, 31-7 over the Cowboys.
5 seconds left in the half there. Kansas City, San Diego, 13-7. The Chiefs lead it. And Brett Favre had a big day for the Packers.
5 touchdown passes, a personal high for him. Aaron Kramer, though, had another good day. 2 touchdown passes, 2 of them to this man, Curtis Conway. This one a 46-yarder, but far back a 44-yard touchdown pass to Robert Brooks as the Pack, get on in the end zone, jump up into the stand. There you go. The Pack, 35-28, NFC Central, man. The Packers tied up with the Bears with records of 6-4.
Packers control the Central. Well, welcome back, Marv Levy.
Good to have him back. Jim Kelly's glad to have him back. He's also nice, says, look, Billy Brooks, turn around, and make a great catch. He does 30-yard TD reception between two defensive backs. Bills up, then back again. Brooks, 15 yards. That's Buffalo on this day. And Elvis does his dance. Takes care of the visiting Falcons, 23-17.
Bills with 5 sacks in this one. Yes, indeed. St. Louis back to their forcing turnovers.
Marco Farr strips the ball from Kerry Collins, who has kicked it. Farr scoops it up 22 yards, and the Rams take it. The Rams hadn't been getting many turnovers in the last 4 games, but today they got all over the visiting pass. There's Slater, 259 times he has played in the National Football League, an all-time high for offensive linemen, 28-17
He's
Rams.
almost as old as you, is he not?
No, he's 41. I'm 42.
Oh, well, look at you, boy. He's telling the truth. More highlights when we come back. And welcome back to Hollywood for the Dockers halftime. Along with Terry Bradshaw, I'm James Brown. Let's bring you up to date on scores and highlights from early games. Curtis Martin, the rookie sensation, led the Patriots to an upset of Miami.
Dan Marino, though, on this 9-yard pass completion to Irving Fryer. This breaks Brian Tarkenton's passing yardage record of 47,003 yards. Dan with 333 yards passing on the day, now with 47,299 yards. But that's not enough. As New England behind Drew Bledsoe's 2 TD passes, this one tipped by Megan into the hands of Coates. There it is, 34-17 Patriots over the Dolphins.
All right, strong winds welcoming Jeff Hostetler back in an Oakland uniform against his ex-mates, the Giants, at the Meadowlands.
Well, the Hoss is back down the middle. Ishmael wide open. Great extension. Touchdown. 4 sacks on the day by the Raiders over the Giants. 17-13.
Now, what do you say? The Saints have now won 3 straight and improved to 4-6. Maybe Tom Benson will reconsider and not fire Jim Mora. Jeff Blake and Carl Pickens, an effective duo, as the Oilers fans are saying, don't give our team away.
Jeff Blake back looking fine. Pickens, there it is. Great catch into the end zone. Cincinnati 23-13. At this point, they go on 32-25 a final.
Jeff Blake, 17 games with a touchdown in a row. Wayne Fonts needs to make the playoffs to save his job.
Barry Sanders, fake the reverse, no support, 55-yard touchdown run by Sanders. 90 yards rushing on the day. Sanders, remember, just last week was 44 yards. Now Mitchell back, 36-yard pass. This set up a sneak by Mitchell as the Lions go on to take care of Tampa Bay, 27-24.
And who would have thunk it? Seattle looking impressive.
Galloway takes a reverse. He cuts back across the grain. Weaves, dodges. There it is, weaves. There's the dodge right there. I guess that's the dodge. 84 yards. Seahawks. Nice and easy into the end zone. 47-30.
I like that easy read. That's how impressive it was. And guess what? We're going to come back easy and continue at halftime after this.
Halftime from Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona. The Minnesota Vikings leading the Arizona Cardinals by the score of 17-10. Kenny Albert, Anthony Munoz back with you from Sun Devil Stadium. Anthony, the first half here a little bit closer than the 49ers and Cowboys.
Well, a little bit. I tell you, a lot of people in Dallas, I think, are shocked. I think people here are a little shocked, too, that maybe the Cardinals are keeping this one as close as they are.
Well, the Cardinals turned the ball over twice in that first half, both leading to Viking scores.
And really, that is the key stat that you see right here. Everything else is pretty even, rush yards, pass yards, total. But what you see are the 2 turnovers, and as you mentioned, the 10 points that the Vikings have gotten over those turnovers.
And Warren Moon with 2 touchdown passes, the first to Jake Reed from 32 yards out, and then Chris Carter on the 5-yard controversial call by the side judge in the end zone. But this, the Jake Reed score.
Well, this is exactly what they told us. We got to get the guys outside to beat their man. They did here. He beat Aeneas Williams because the Cardinals have a tendency to bring the safety out of the middle. Right there it happens. Jake Reed wide open. Then you go to the other side, number 80, Chris Carter, going one-on-one on a former Buckeye, as he is also, Tito Paul. And right here we have the controversial call. They say it's a touchdown, but I don't know about that.
And the Vikings have picked on Tito Paul throughout the first half. All 7 of Chris Carter's receptions have come with Tito Paul on the coverage. Carter 7 receptions, Reed with 4, and both with a touchdown.
Well, we talked to Chris Carter last night, and we asked him about the fact that he's coming back to play against an old coach, Buddy Ryan, and he said, well, that's over with, but I think there's still an incentive for a guy that cut Chris Carter to come back and have a great game in the first half. He's doing exactly that.
Well, the Eagles waived Chris Carter after 3 years in Philadelphia, and he was picked up by the Vikings for the $100 waiver price.
Not a bad price, and they've gotten a lot more than, I mean, you'd ever expect for $100.
Chris Carter with the touchdown reception of 5 yards. That gave the Vikings a 17-7 lead. It is now 17-10 as we take a look at the NFC Central. How important is this game, Anthony, for the Vikings?
This is a huge game, and as we talk to the Vikings, they say, well, this will get us back to 500 if we win this game. Not only this, but it'll keep them 1 game behind the lead. The leader of the Central, which is, going down this final stretch, is going to be big for them.
You know, I think if you're in a fantasy football league, you would have to pay more for Chris Carter this year than the Minnesota Vikings did 6 years ago.
Not just a little bit more, but you would have to pay a lot more.
And there is Chris Carter, 7 first-half receptions. Warren Moon in that first half, 12 completions, 11 going to Carter and Reed. Amp lead the other 12 of 22, 162 yards and 2 touchdowns. So Warren over the last 3 weeks, 5 touchdowns and no interceptions.
I think a key in that first half, we've been talking about this Vikings football team, their ability to hit the big plays with their wide receivers. They've been able to run the ball effectively with the cutback, but I think a key factor in that first half for the Cardinals is after David Craig hurt his hand, him coming back into the football game and making some plays.
And there is Dave Craig. Greg Davis will kick off in this second half with the Vikings leading the Cardinals 17-10. Kadri Ismail and Amp Lee back deep. Here's Ismail from the 9. Ismail weaves his way across the 30. All the way out to the 38-yard line. Finally pulled to the ground by David Merritt. 29-yard return for Ismail.
It's interesting, Kenny, you asked head coach Dennis Green about Kadri being back there on kickoff returns after he had lost the ball some early in the season. Right there, he looked very comfortable getting the ball and taking it upfield.
Yes, Dennis Green told us Kadri has not been as careful with the ball as he should be, but his confidence is back.
And that's what you need, confidence. And whatever you do in this game, you need that confidence.
1st and 10 for the Vikings. They start from their own 39. Robert Smith, the lone back. Moon to the air, and the play is blown dead. Flags on first down.
Vikings going with a lot of double tight end here today.
Prior to the snap, we've got a false start on number 80 offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
That's the second one on the veteran Chris Carter. He had one in the first half, early in the first half. Right here you see him once again. He's anxious. He knows Paul's sitting right across the line of scrimmage from him. He wants to get another catch.
How about the way Chris Carter spent his off day this week?
Doing a little acting out in Hollywood.
Living Single on Fox. Thanksgiving Day, guest star Chris Carter.
And he said he was so nervous. Here he plays in front of 60 to 80,000 people. He said in front of that camera acting, he was so nervous he couldn't believe it.
Definitely not nervous in the first half with 7 receptions. The penalty pushes the Vikings back. Moon fumbles. We told you in the first half, only Dave Craig has fumbled more than Warren Moon in the history of the National Football League. This career fumble number 132 by Moon. Question is, who recovered?
A lot of big bodies. They have to get off that football field right there. He's number 77. One of the big bodies off the field already, Corey Stringer, about 340 pounds of body. And there's some more big guys, and you see the Cardinals.
It is Arizona Cardinals football. Vikings' first turnover today.
Right here you see it. 137, 137 for Craig and 132 for Warren Moon. Both right here in this game having problems holding on to the football. Right there, Brian Billick, the offensive coordinator, talking to Warren Moon. He's probably not talking. Warren Moon's been around for a long time, and I'm sure he's not talking to him about the fumble more than he is about maybe the play he was changing or what they want to do offensively.
First down for the Cardinals in Vikings territory. Garrison Hurst.
Big hole over that right side, giving Garrison Hurst a chance to gain some positive yardage. 6 yards to be exact by Garrison Hurst, and right here you'll see it. You have Roy Barker and Ezra Tua all over on that side. Larry Centers comes up, shows his toughness by cutting down Tua Olo right there, a big defensive lineman, but Larry Centers sticks his nose right in there.
6-yard gain by Hurst. 2nd and 4. Craig. Oh, what a play by Harlan Barnett. The intended receiver was Rob Moore.
Kenny, and right there you see what you need from your safety right here to come over and help out, which the Cardinal safeties have been getting over late. Right here, you know you can count on that, and you see right here, he's out of your screen, he comes back in, great break, helping out, knocking that one down. Harlan Barnett just about intercepts that one. Had a chance to, he had both hands on the football.
Barnett takes a breather, 3rd down and 4. Craig working out of the shotgun, 4 Cardinal receivers. Quick slant, incomplete. Looking for Anthony Edwards, and Greg Davis will come on and attempt another field goal.
Well, you know, Sanders going to the inside, and if Edwards, it appeared that maybe he didn't run the exact route that David Craig wanted him to run, but if he does, Craig gets the ball to him, there's a lot of green. It might have been 6 because with Sanders coming over the middle, that sucked the defensive secondary into the middle.
44-yard attempt. Davis hit from 40 earlier. Low snap. The holder Spiegels, good recovery. The kick is good, and the Cardinals have pulled within 4. Early second half from Sun Devil Stadium. It's the Vikings 17, the Cards 13.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Cadillac and your Cadillac dealer, creating a higher standard. By Transamerica, the people in the pyramid are working for you. And by Nike, who encourages you to participate in the lives of America's youth.
Welcome back to Sun Devil Stadium. This man obviously with too much time on his hands this morning.
A little too much. Hopefully that's makeup, that red stuff, and not the 83, 84 degree weather here that's taking its toll on his face.
Well, we could have arranged for makeup on your face like that.
Well, I don't think so.
Ismail. This time out to the 43. 38 yards on the return, just moments after his 29-yard kick return.
The reason I kind of groaned on that one is number 56. I'm not sure if we'll see him here. Pete Bursich gets a tremendous hit if we catch it right here, right there. You see it. He is just being nailed, or nails the Cardinal coverage man, and he's jumping up and down after that one. That was 46 Brent Alexander, who thinks, I have Kadri right there, and he just rocks him. First thing that hits is a shoulder pass.
And the Vikings start out on the 44-yard line. What a hit by Bursich on Alexander. Flag on the play in the defensive backfield.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
So the Vikings could not get the snap off. This will force them back 5 yards. Anthony Jake Reed with 4 receptions in the first half, including the 32-yard touchdown catch. His wife, Vanita Reed, is due on April 11th, and the Vikings weekly newspaper, Viking Update, running a contest to help the Reeds name their baby. As we take a look at some of the names, Rashid, Malik, Anthony. Pass incomplete, intended for Reed.
I didn't see Kenny on there. Was Kenny
I would vote for Anthony. Actually, 2 of the names that did make the list were Randall, as in John Randall, and Ahmad, as in former Viking receiver Ahmad Rashad. Here are our choices. We'll go with Anthony if it's a boy.
And Jody, if it's a girl. It's funny, I was talking to him on the field, and I went over and asked him about this. He goes, well, actually, my wife has a boy name and a girl name picked out already. But as the names come in, if a name jumps out, she will go with that name from the fans. So we're adding our 2 names into that list. I'll add a little more to what he said.
Second down, Robert Smith up the middle. 9-yard pickup, so it will be 3rd and 6. According to the Viking Update newspaper, the list will be narrowed down to 3 names, and then the readers will vote.
And he said, I'm letting her pick the name. Like I said, she has one for a boy, one for a girl already. And he said, all I will do, I'll be there to help raise the kid. You name him. But if I see that it's a boy and I look at him and he looks like a Bubba, I'll give him or her their nickname.
Bubba Reed.
Bubba Reed.
Moving on 3rd down with time as a receiver. It's not Bubba, but Jake Reed.
And right there, he continues to make those catches, and for 10 yards on that one.
First down for the Vikings. Big day for the combination of Reed and Carter.
We'll take a look at it right here as you see Carter going in motion. And that's usually where he starts out from. Does a lot of motioning. But right here you see Jake Reed just sitting right down there in front of the Cardinal defenders. And with Warren Moon's quick drop and quick release.
First down on the Cardinals 41. Jordan in motion. The pitch back goes to Smith on the reverse. This is David Palmer. After all that, the Vikings gain 2 yards.
Well, and you have a very upset number 98, Eric Swan, from that Cardinals defense. He got so much penetration. As we take a look here, we'll see Eric Swan. He gets so much penetration going for the run. As you see him right here, he gets that penetration to get the running back and almost gets the reverse man right there, as he has great vision and he sees that that ball is handed off for the 2nd time, but he's upset because he didn't make the tackle on David Palmer.
2nd down and 8. Palmer in his 2nd year out of Alabama. First time he's touched the ball this afternoon. Moon on 2nd down. It is Clyde Simmons, 2nd sack today.
Well, we talked earlier about people in Arizona in this area getting all over him because he hasn't had the sacks that they expect him to. And right here you see him on the left side of the screen. In fact, Todd Stussy kind of just gives him an arm and turns him over to the running back, Robert Smith, and I'd say that's a little bit of a mismatch. You got to have some help from the offensive line if you expect to block Clyde Simmons. You can't let him go one-on-one with the running back, not at 280 pounds.
Third and 15 following the sack. They lost 7 on the play. Moon in trouble again. This time it's Eric Swan.
Well, unlike last week when he did not play a whole lot and was not a factor because of the sickness, right here you see him right in the middle of the screen. Jeff Christie attempts to block him, but then he lets him go. I don't understand. Maybe he just kind of got leaning forward a little bit, but when you have a guy the caliber of Eric Swan, as you see right there, really happy about that, you can't block him with one guy, especially the guy that has to get the ball up to the quarterback and then try to block him. You need some help there.
The swan song for the Vikings offense. Short punt by Saxon. Anthony Edwards on the 33-yard punt by Mike Saxon. 2 sacks today for Eric Swan, a pair for Clyde Simmons. Cardinals will look to take the lead. They trail by 4. 10.5 2:30 to go, third quarter. Vikings over the Cardinals, 17-13. Dave Craig at the helm in his 16th National Football League season, spent 12 years in Seattle. And the Cardinals, his third team the last 4 years. Kansas City and Detroit. And there is Jeff Brady, the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week, his first NFL start last week against Green Bay. What a game. And here today, 4 tackles, 1 fumble recovery.
Head coach Dennis Green said he is a wild man.
Usually a special teams player, backs up Jack Del Rio. He's put together 2 pretty impressive games back-to-back. Craig deflected, almost picked off by Charles Mincy, and Craig got nailed right as he let go of the football.
He took a big hit. Getting back to talking about Jeff Brady right here, you see he causes a fumble. All of a sudden he comes up and says that's not enough. He makes a big goal line tackle on Edgar Bennett. And here we got, he forces an interception. And then all of a sudden he has to add to that package and he gets an interception. Phenomenal game. Actually, Vikings defense's second first-time starter to be named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. The other, Orlando Thomas, earlier against the Steelers.
And here's Craig, just 2 of his last 9, make it 2 of 10 as Anthony Edwards waved at it, but could not make the catch.
Well, the thing that made that overthrown was the pressure that the Vikings got on David Craig, and he actually had to throw that one off his back foot, and it just sailed. As we take a look right here, you'll see that David Craig does not have a chance to plant and throw this football. He has a bunch of bodies. See right there, you see Derek Alexander, the #1 pick from Florida State. Right here you see Jeff Brady, 4 tackles and 1 fumble recovery.
Vikings, Brady's 6th team in 5 seasons in the NFL. 3rd down and 10. Craig out of the shotgun, 4 wide receiver. Craig under pressure, stays on his feet, and the pass is complete. First down, Anthony Edwards. What a catch by Edwards, who was the intended receiver on the previous play. This one good for 20 yards.
Watching Dave Craig on that play, I go right back to what Buddy Ryan said about Dave Craig. He said he is a tremendous leader. He can avoid the rush, even though he's not a scrambler. As you see right there, nice move to get away from that pass rush. And then Anthony Edwards goes up and he takes it from Corey Fuller. Right there you see Jeff Brady trying to get through. They double team him, and that leaves somebody open.
20 yards from Craig to Edwards. Garrison Hurst upended by Jeff Brady.
He is all over the football field. And when you have a guy that's used to being out there on the special teams and running up and down the field and making big hits as he has on the special teams, you don't have to worry about having that intensity level up when you insert him into the lineup.
Jeff last week felt he had a point to prove. He was cut by the Green Bay Packers a couple of years back. And took his frustrations out on the field.
Well, being with so many teams, he has a lot of points to prove when he plays different teams.
Craig on 2nd and 10, dumps it off. Larry centers, works his way up to the 42-yard line. And once again, it's Jeff Brady on the tackle.
Not only was he on the tackle, but it's nice to see when you complete those short passes. I saw number 64, Jamie Dukes, the center for the Cardinals, downfield trying to get a block. When you have a back like Larry Sanders, who you know is going to run hard and get every yard possible, that's an incentive for you to get down there and give him a little extra help.
I'm just waiting for you to sing like Matt Millen did last week.
No, I don't have a voice, and I know I don't have a voice. That's why I don't attempt it.
Here's the story.
And Brady. Thanks, Matt. We appreciate you getting us hooked on that.
From the 42, 3rd down and 3. Craig over the middle. It's complete. Another first down. And this time it is Marcus Dowdell, his 9th reception this season. 3rd-year man out of Tennessee State, 8 of 9.
Once again, the Vikings bring Jeff Brady on the blitz. It's right here. He comes up, but the Cardinals do an excellent job picking him up. Right there, you see Larry Sanders at the last second just going over and chopping him down. Right here, let's take a look at it. I think it appears that he's getting through, but then all of a sudden, Centers just kind of hides behind his big offensive lineman and says, hey, I'm right here waiting for you. You're going down.
Is taken down by the rookie out of Florida State, Derek Alexander.
Derek Alexander called him a little earlier. We haven't called his number a whole lot today. He's a guy that Dennis Green believes can be a top defensive player in this league. Of course, Florida State played in the inside, the defensive tackle position. They have him on the outside. Feels that he needs to improve on his leg strength to give him some more push and to be able to wear the offensive lineman down, something that he believes will come for Derek Alexander.
Gain of 3 on the previous play. Second down and 7. Greg threw it away. No receivers in sight, so it will be third down.
Smart move by David Craig, the veteran. You'll see a stunt and a blitz coming from the Minnesota Vikings. We talked about Alexander. He'll come in, they pick him up, and they come from the outside. But the Cardinals do a nice job picking that up. All of a sudden, Garrison Hurst picking up Ed McDaniel, number 58, coming around the outside. Craig just throws the ball away. Smart move on his part.
Derek Alexander told us last night that due to his holdout during training camp, he feels fresher than he might have if he went through an entire camp.
Well, physically he might feel fresher, but I think mentally he needs that camp to get down the system.
Craig on third down. This is Seckers. Not enough for the first down. John Randall on the stop. 4-yard gain. So once again, the field goal unit will come on. Greg Davis has already hit twice today. And now the Cardinals look to pull within 1 point.
Keeping this game close.
Greg Davis in for the field goal.
Right here you see Gary Zauner, the special teams coach for the Minnesota Vikings. In fact, before the game, I was down there with Randy Kirk and Mike Morris, the 2 snappers, and the special team coach. They had their own little meeting down there.
Conference call on the field. 44-yarder by Davis is good. He is now 3 of 3. The Cardinals have pulled within 1. It's the Vikings 17, the Cardinals 16. Warren Moon and the Vikings looking to even their record at 500. 4 wins, 5 losses. Vikings leading the Cardinals 17-16. Minnesota scoring 10 of their 17 points off Cardinal turnovers. Jake Reed, Chris Carter combining for 12 receptions, 2 touchdowns. And Greg Davis of the Cardinals with 3 field goals, 3 of 3. He will kick off. The deep men, Chandre Ismail and Amp Lee. This is Ismail, who's had 2 big returns this half. This time, bottled up at the 23-yard line. Marcus Dowdell on the stop, 15-yard return.
And he knew right away that he wanted that football. You could see him banging on his chest. And that tells me he's got some confidence. As you see right here, the play selection. 16 rushes, 24 passes. Rushing the ball for 71 yards, where a lot of teams, Cardinals have been giving up 178 yards.
And if you think back to last year's game in which the Cardinals defeated the Vikings 17-7, Cardinals defense helped Minnesota to just 18 rushing yards the entire game. First and 10, Robert Smith takes the pitch back from Warren Moon, and he is stopped at the line of scrimmage.
And there's a nice job by that Cardinal defense right there, led by Terry Hogue, the safety, stretching that play out, not giving the Vikings a chance to turn that corner. Something that they've been allowing as they've given up all these yards.
Terry Hogue has been with Buddy Ryan on 3 different teams, Philadelphia, Houston, now Arizona. And Hogue said, as you take a look at the worst rush defenders, Arizona allowing 178 per game, Hogue said this is the worst defense he has played on in 8 years with Buddy Ryan. Second down and 10, Moon lobs it up, Carter up the stairs, makes the catch.
And who is he going against? Tito Paul, the rookie from Ohio State. Right there, it's just a matter of Warren Moon knowing Chris Carter's athletic ability and just throwing the football up. and saying, here it is, the ball's in the air, it's up to you to go up and grab it and win this battle, which he does right there. Just nice jump, elevating himself over Tito Paul, making the catch, and almost keeps his balance. He keeps his balance. He might have gone all the way. He does keep his balance a little bit, gets a few extra yards.
Moon hands it off. Robert Smith bottled up once again. With that previous play, the completion to Chris Carter. Warren Moon has jumped over Johnny Unitas. He is now in 5th on the all-time passing yardage list.
That's phenomenal.
Earlier today, interestingly for the Viking fans, Dan Marino passed Fran Tarkenton, so Marino is now number 1.
Yep, and that's, you know, you look at Warren Moon, I mean, that's a tremendous amount of yards, but you still have to figure in those Canadian Football League yardage. That's still professional football, so he has thrown for a lot of yards in his professional career.
That's over 60,000 to include the Canadian League. Second down and 11. Moon rolling right, and it is broken up. Beautiful play by Terry Hogue. He's like a coach on the field out there.
He really is, and the guys talk about his input with the defensive coaches. That says a lot about the coaches that, you know, they're willing to listen him out. Say, well, they listen sometimes. But when you have a guy that's been around that long, as smart as he is, that helps out.
And he told us that it would be very frustrating if he were to get into the coaching profession, and the fact that your job would rely on a bunch of 22, 25, 28-year-olds.
He said that might be a little frustrating, and knows for a fact that a lot of the coaches get frustrated and they put game plans together and guys don't execute them.
3rd and 11. 4 wide receivers for the Vikings. Moon over the middle, incomplete. The pass a bit short, intended for Convery Ishmael.
And Ishmael had a step on Lorenzo Lynch. If that ball is thrown where he can catch that, he has a big gain on there because Warren Moon did a good job seeing the blitz and getting rid of it quickly, but just a little too short on the throw.
Mike Saxon out to punt. His 3rd punt of the afternoon. Back deep for the Cardinals, Anthony Edwards. Flag on the play, short kick by Saxon. Takes a Viking bounce and is down inside the 15, but a flag was thrown as Saxon punted the ball away.
What's happened here with this Cardinal defense is they basically are taking the run away from the Vikings this second half and saying, if you're going to beat us, you're going to beat us throwing the football, and we're going to bring guys to pressure you, and Warren Moon, we're going to force you to make some good throws.
Howard Rowe, our referee.
Offsides, number 41 defense. Penalties declined. 1st down.
So when we return, the Cardinals will take over, trailing by 1.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered.
Kenny Albert, Anthony Munoz from beautiful Tempe, Arizona. Many Minnesota Vikings fans on hand as they lead the Cardinals by 1. 17-16. Harrison Hurst across the 15 to the 16-yard line. Gain of 3. What's going on in Dallas? McDonald's Game Break with James Brown in Hollywood.
I'm sure from Dallas' standpoint, any scoring will do. Can he take a look at Emmitt Smith as he breaks loose for a 34-yard run? First run of more than 20 yards against San Francisco this year. That set up a Chris Bonio field goal to make it 31-10. San Francisco back to Kenny and Anthony.
Thanks, JB. Approximately 5.5 remaining in the 3rd quarter in Dallas with the 49ers on top, 31-10. Vikings lead this one 17-16 as Craig's pass is batted down once again. This time it is Broderick Thomas.
Well, there's no question about it. David Craig had some room, some separation between the defensive linemen, but the big hand comes up. He'll come from the top of your screen, number 51, takes on the back Harrison Hurst and gets his hand up, knocks it down.
You know, Buddy Ryan knows a thing or two about Broderick Thomas's bloodlines. Thomas's mother is Mike Singletary's brother. So Thomas, a nephew, the former Chicago Bears great. Dave Craig just 6 of his last 15. 3rd down and 7. Craig's pass incomplete. He hurried it. Looking for Larry Centers. And the Cardinals will be forced to punt once again.
The reason he had to hurry that throw is because right here, Brady comes on the blitz. Something that the Vikings have been doing here. You see Randall coming, and I'm sure David Craig sees number 50 getting closer and unloads the football. And nice coverage by the Vikings secondary also.
David Palmer back deep. Beagles waiting at his own goal line. Good kick by Beagles forces Palmer back to the 28. Out to the 50, works his way up the obstacle course. 55-yard punt, 21-yard return by Palmer. Jeff Brady and the Vikings leading the Cardinals 17-16, 2.5 to play, 3rd quarter from Sun Devil Stadium. The site of Super Bowl 30 this January, only 77 days away.
Nice and warm in late January.
83 degrees at game time today. Warren Moon on 1st down. Andre Ismail. And it is an incompletion. The ball touched the ground before Ismail made the catch.
We'll take a look here, see if the official made the correct call here. You see Kadri Ismail right here, as he just sits down after a little burst. Aeneas Williams, nope, that hit the ground. He scooped it up. If he'd have been playing shortstop, he could have made the throw to first and it would have been fine, but not in this game.
And with the throw, have beaten his brother to walk it.
I don't know, he had to get rid of it awfully quick though.
Moon on 2nd down, gets rid of it. This time it's Ismail making the catch and pushed out of bounds. Amp Lee on the reception, 7 yards, and he is Williams on the stop. This week it's a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. Some of you will see the Lions battle the Bears, or the Vikings taking on the Saints, plus other exciting regional action. It all begins at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Check local listings for the game and time in your area. 2 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. 3rd down and 3 for the Vikings. Moon under pressure, has the 1st down. As he is bet by Terry Hogue. Moon gains about 4, and he took a hard hit up high from Hogue.
A lot of pressure, and what you have here, let's see what offense can adjust and pick up the blitzes, pick up the pressure. And right here, Warren Moon does a nice job of, he was going to throw the ball quickly, saw his receiver wasn't open, and he makes the play just getting away from Eric Swan, who dove for his feet, and he got the 1st down.
Yes, Hogue and Swan combining to hit Warren Moon over the 200-yard mark. 1st down, handoff, James Stewart. Seth Joyner, the first Cardinal there. Busy day in the NFC West. Rams defeating the Panthers 28-17 in the opening game at the TWA Dome. New Orleans over Indianapolis. Buffalo defeated Atlanta. So if San Francisco hangs on and defeats Dallas, we will have ourselves a 3-way tie in the NFC West, with the other 2 teams just 2 games behind. 31-10, 3rd quarter in Irving, Texas. 2nd down and 10 for the Vikings. Moon's pass is complete. Chris Carter, and he does it once again against Tito Paul.
And I mentioned just a few seconds ago, what offense will be able to pick up the blitzes they do there, and they complete it to Chris Carter for 17 yards. They had both the linebacker blitzing and the safety Lorenzo Lynch, but you have Carter one-on-one with Tito Paul. Once again, Tito Paul not looking at the football. Carter sees it, makes a nice catch for the 1st down. Well, that's asking a lot from that rookie, from the rookie Tito Paul. to cover Chris Carter one-on-one. And that's what the cornerbacks in this defense have to do with all the blitzing and the 46 Buddy Ryan defense.
And that does it for the third quarter from Sun Devil Stadium. It's the Vikings 17, the Cardinals 16. Back in a moment here on Fox. The only scoring in the third quarter, 2 Greg Davis field goals, both from 44 yards out. As the Cardinals pull within 1, but the Vikings driving Minnesota on the Arizona 21-yard line. First down and 10 for Warren Moon. Moon jumps it off. Lee up to the 16. Jameer Miller on Lee and dragged him out of bounds. 6-yard gain.
Gain of 6 yards.
And right then, the Cardinal defense came with just a straight 4-man rush, no blitzes. It just kind of came back. As we see right here, you'll see just the front 4 coming on the rush. Joyner dropping off, Jameer Miller dropping off, and then Warren Moon sitting back there just hitting hand play. So right now, it's just all about strategy. Pick your spots to come with the blitz.
Scotty Graham takes the handoff, close to the first down marker. This game is presented by authority of the National Football League. It is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Arizona Cardinals and the National Football League is prohibited. Graham close to the first down, and they call for the chains.
Took a look at both head coaches, Dennis Green, as we talked to him. He mentioned about picking his spots. When do you run? When do you cut it back? And then on the other side, we took a look at Buddy Ryan, as you see right there. Just a little short of the first down. And Buddy Ryan picking his spots, as I mentioned. When do you blitz? When do you just bring your 4 front guys and kind of sit back in a little zone? Pretty much strategy, a little chess going on here.
Just short. Just short of the first down, so it will be third down and inches.
Offensive coordinator Brian Billick right there conversing with Dennis Green. Ronnie Jones, defensive coordinator, but I'm sure Buddy Ryan very involved in making the calls defensively.
John Jarrett in at fullback, number 66. Moon rolling right. Has the first down. Oh, does he take a hit?
Oh my, that was Terry Hogue.
Former teammates in Houston.
And Warren Moon was not out of bounds, and you see some of Warren Moon's teammates going right after Terry Hogue. Why don't we take a listen at what it sounds like when you're playing safety. Come up, and this time he hits Warren Moon. It helps when you're 213 pounds like Warren Moon is. Bounce right back up after that hit.
First and goal, the ball spotted on the 10, and Moon calls timeout. Saw something he did not like. Warren Moon over to talk things over with Dennis Green. Early fourth quarter. Vikings leading by 1.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Motel 6. When you want a clean, comfortable room for the lowest prices of any national chain, stay with Motel 6. By the all-new Ford Taurus, a look you've never seen from a name you know well. And by Miller Lite. When you've got the great taste of an ice-cold Miller Lite, life is good.
Kenny Albert, Anthony Munoz back from Sun Devil Stadium following the Vikings timeout. It'll be first and goal for Minnesota.
Kenny, right here you have Charles Evans, number 29, started on the right. Then he came over to Warren's left, and it appeared that he wanted him on the opposite side because when he saw that he was to his left, he called a timeout.
Scotty Graham down to a 5. with Evans leading the way.
And we talked about Chris Carter, former Buckeye, Tito Paul, former Buckeye. Right here you have Scotty Graham, a former Buckeye. In fact, you have Corey Stringer on the right side blocking for Scotty Graham, a former Buckeye. A few former Buckeyes running around here, and I'm sure they're excited about what their alma mater is doing.
And excited about this drive as well. This will be the 10th play. 2nd and goal. Scotty Graham once again down to the 3. Looks to gain the extra yards. Seth Joyner and Eric Hill combining on the stop. It will be 3rd and goal. Dennis Green and the Vikings leading by 1. They will host New Orleans next week, while the Cardinals travel to Carolina.
And this is a nice drive being put together by the Vikings because they have the type of offense that can do this. So they just continue to chew the clock and then score. The Cardinal offense is not like the Viking offense where they can drive a long distance and eat up clock.
Anthony with a lone back. Chris Walsh in motion. Going to the end zone. Touchdown, Carter.
I'm not going to say who was guarding. Well, okay, I will. It was Tito Paul, the rookie, and Chris Carter, the 9-year veteran. Once again, 2 years in a row, has come here to Arizona and having another phenomenal game. Right here you see it. And like he told us yesterday, going against the Buddy Ryan defense, it forces the wide receivers to go one-on-one with the corners, and he loves that type of competition. And right here, he's taking advantage of this defense.
How sweet it is. Chris Carter doing it against the coach who released him 6 years ago with the Philadelphia Eagles. 10 receptions, 2 touchdowns for Chris Carter. Now the Vikings lead is now 24-16. Chris Carter's 2nd double-digit reception game of the year. 12 against Houston back on October 8th. 10 so far today. His career high 14 right here last October at Sun Devil Stadium. The kickoff from Claude Ravains, played by Marcus Dowdell. 4 yards deep in the end zone.
Just an earlier shot before the kickoff. Saw Chris Carter giving a little shake and bake, and I think that's what he gave him here, giving Tito Paul, as you see it. He just kind of approaches him, gives him a shake here inside, outside, nothing real hard, very simple route there. But Tito Paul having a tough day as Chris Carter's excited about his catch number 10, as you see here.
Buckeye Alumni Day in the end zone.
Oh, man. 2 touchdowns. And when we asked them, are you going to go after the rookie Tito Paul, they just kind of smiled and said, well, I think we might have a mismatch there.
Tito Paul made his first NFL start last week. Here's Dave Craig on first down, looking for the rookie Sanders. Sanders had a half step on Donald Frank, but could not catch up to the football.
He sure did have a step on him. Orlando Thomas coming over, but a little late. Right here, as you see him, takes him outside. He actually turns Frank around, and that gives him the opportunity to get the step on him, but the ball just slightly overthrown. And you saw just as the ball hit the ground, Orlando Thomas came over.
Talk about small world stories. Sanders' teammate in high school down in Fort Lauderdale, Isaac Bruce of the Rams.
Well, I wouldn't mind being a quarterback for that team.
2nd down and 10. Craig hands it off. Larry centers. Gains 3, perhaps 4 yards. Yes, it was Dillard High School in Fort Lauderdale. Isaac Bruce was a senior, Frank Sanders a junior. Teammates. They won the state championship.
His junior year, and he said, we went into our senior year thinking a little bit too much of ourselves, and we got beat. Actually, they moved him to tight end. Can you imagine having Isaac Bruce at wide receiver and Frank Sanders at tight end? That's
Isaac
amazing.
Bruce, another 100-yard day today against the Carolina Panthers. 9 receptions and a touchdown in the opening of the Friends World Dome. And what a season it's been for both Isaac Bruce and Frank Sanders. 3rd down and 6. 3 wide receivers for the Cardinals. Craig sidearms it. And a flag on the play. The intended receiver was Anthony Edwards. Not happy about the flag is Robert Griffith. nor Corey Fuller.
Also out here they had Frank Sanders on Donald Frank. The flag was thrown in that area. There is a holding call against the Vikings. He was either holding Anthony Edwards or Sanders.
Holding. Number 27 on defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
It was against the corner, Corey Fuller, number 27, who was playing on Anthony Edwards. As we'll see it here coming from the right side of the screen right there. I don't know, it must have been that left hand as he started to make that out move that was holding him, because there's the ball approach. It wasn't, he wasn't holding him there.
So a first down for the Cardinals. On first down, Craig's pass is complete. Rob Moore out at the 38, a gain of 9. And right now, another McDonald's game break. Let's go to Hollywood and James Brown.
And I know you're asking, why are the Cowboys trailing by 18? Take a look at this. Wilson's pass to Novacek, who slipped right into the hands of Lee Woodall. 4th turnover today, 12th in the last 3 games against the Niners. 31-13 San Fran. Back to Kenny and Anthony.
Why ask why when you have JB to update the situation?
That's right, and I tell you, you can only take so much as a player when you're such an underdog and people are counting you out. You got to watch out for those type of teams. And the 49ers were counted out of this football game against the Cowboys. They've proven they're not dead.
This one a bit closer. 2nd down and 1. First down and more. Garrison Hurst across midfield. First to the 32-yard line. Finally taken down by Donald Frank. Gain of 32 yards.
And I tell you, the Vikings had a chance to tackle him right at the line of scrimmage, but this was a lot of Garrison Hurst and not a whole lot of the Vikings defense. Look at that hole, but it closes in a hurry. And right there, he gets away from 1, 2, and all of a sudden, he takes it out around the corner. It's actually Donald Frank who slows him down, needing help from his buddies. Right here, you see Frank Sanders. He gets thrown away a little bit, but he stays after it and makes a nice block right there. Takes a Viking to the ground. That's nice to see those wide receivers that are willing to block for their buddies. But Garrison Hurst making that nice initial move as we see an injury on the field. Dwayne Washington being helped up.
86 yards today for Garrison Hurst.
Take a look at wide receiver Frank Sanders, not satisfied with one block, as we see him coming up here, making a block on Donald Frank first, and then getting Dwayne Washington, who was helped off the field. Nice hustle by Frank Sanders, the wide receiver.
Flash and pass. Craig looking downfield. Sanders inside the 5. Flag was thrown. It's on the Vikings. So the play will stand. 28-yard reception.
Well, he comes right back after making a couple nice blocks, and they go right to Frank Sanders. Let's take a look at the protection. David Craig, as he makes this nice throw to his wide receiver. See him right here, winch a little bit. Personal foul on the Vikings. Take a look right here. Gives it a little token fake to Garrison Hurst. What happens is you see Broderick Thomas.
Number 51 on the defense. Unnecessary roughness on a quarterback. Penalized half the distance to the goal. First down.
You see Sanders coming in motion, just taking it across the middle. And David Craig laying it in nicely. As we saw in the other picture, Broderick Thomas getting a late hit on the quarterback.
Sanders' second big play today. The unnecessary roughness on Broderick Thomas. So the ball moved half the distance to the goal line. In between the 1 and the 2-yard lines. So the 28-yard pass play from Craig to Sanders follows the big run by Garrison Hurst.
And David Craig doing a nice job sitting back there. You see him kind of trying to loosen up those shoulders. A lot of poise just sitting back there knowing he was going to take the hit.
Chad Fan has joined Hurst in the backfield. Fan the blocking back. Hurst is stopped by a trio of Minnesota Vikings. He fumbled. Was he down? Stussy recovered, but he is ruled to have been down prior to the fumble.
Nice play by that Minnesota defense, as you see right there, number 72, Jason Fisk, the rookie out of Stanford. Let's take a look at, listen at this and see the collisions that go on down near the goal line. There you see the ball pop out, but he was ruled that he was stopped as they attend to Jeff Brady, number 50, shaking up a little bit on the football field. Here's what you need from your inside linebackers. You see Brady right here. He needs to feel that once he reads where the football's going, he can't wait. He's got to fill that hole, and he does exactly that, making the initial contact on Garrison Hurst. Add another super play to Jeff Brady in these last 2 games that he's been filling in for Jack Del Rio.
And Jason Fisk pounced on the ball, but play was blown dead prior to the fumble. So it is now 2nd down and goal on the Vikings 2.
Maybe a little play action pass here.
Double tight ends. Great looking end zone, lobs it up, broke it up. Harlan Barnett once again. His 2nd big play of the afternoon. The intended receiver was the rookie out of Notre Dame, Oscar McBride.
So play action, and he was open. It was Harlan Barnett, Kenny, as you mentioned, came over. You see right here, David Craig sees Oscar McBride. Right there, you see him going for the ball, and all of a sudden, Harlan Barnett comes over and swipes it. Makes a nice play, saving that touchdown catch. Right there, you see at the last second, just leaps and knocks it down.
Craig on 3rd and goal, takes the handoff to Shepard. Touchdown, Wendell Gaines. The experiment, they call him here in Arizona. Forward defensive lineman. Moved over to tight end. And the Cardinals perhaps will go for 2.
As you see David Craig holding up 2 fingers to tie this up. In fact, last week against the Broncos, Wendell Gaines had a chance to make a similar catch, but as he grabbed it with both hands, the defender knocked it away, and right there, no way. He got those 2 big mitts on it to just about cover up the whole football, and he takes it and spikes it right after the catch. Nice play.
Cardinals 2 of 3 this season, both successful 2-point conversions going to Frank Sanders.
Well, even if they don't get this, they're still 2 down, and they have to at least kick a field goal to take the lead.
They've got it. Rob Moore. And we are tied at 24. Successful 2-point conversion. Cardinals down 3 of 4 on the season. Rob Moore makes the catch in the end zone.
Nicely executed drive by David Craig in this Cardinal offense. Right here you see a nice little half roll to the right. Right away brings it up. And just as Rob Moore gets past the goal line, he hits him for the 2-point conversion.
And the Cardinals have matched their biggest offensive output of the season, 24 points.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered.
Back at Sun Devil Stadium, 24 all. The Vikings and the Cardinals. Wendell Gaines converted from defense to offense in training camp. His first career touchdown. Ismael out to the 33. The stop was made by Ryan Terry.
As we take a look at the 2-point conversion, right here you have Rob Moore. All he does is he gets across the line and sits right there with the big cushion from that Viking secondary. Craig on a short roll out to the right, bang, hits him right away for the 2 points, and we have a tied ball game.
There is Rob Moore, who caught a 9-yard touchdown pass back in the second quarter. 8:25 to go. Vikings with 1st and 10. Number 34. And Boone lost his footing.
Fell down and didn't react that quickly to get back up. He was down and Cardinals jumped on him right away. As you see right here, Warren Moon, the quarterback, he takes a snap and he starts to go back. Basically just falls down there. I thought maybe an offensive lineman stepped on him or something, but that wasn't the case. I don't know. Right here, you look at Warren Moon, 38 will be 39. What next Saturday?
Dave Craig's third oldest. Eric Swan credited with the sack on that play. Over the middle, nearly picked off by Lorenzo Lynch.
He threw that right in the middle of the coverage. Lorenzo Lynch coming over from the safety position as we take a look at it. He's just out there playing center field, reading the quarterback, reacting to the football, and he does right there nicely. And the ball just thrown right into that zone. Lorenzo Lynch down on the ground knows he should have had that one. He had both hands on it. Wasn't a difficult catch.
3rd down and 13. Fans on their feet here at Tempe. Boone under pressure. It is called an incomplete pass. Not a sack, incompletion, so the Vikings will be forced to punt away with 7:50 remaining.
And that was number 90. You see up here, Keith McCants going against rookie Corey Stringer, and all he does is just take him with speed around the corner. Corey Stringer needs to keep his shoulders square to the line of scrimmage. He turns right away, and McCants, being the veteran, knows as soon as the tackle turns, you pressure that shoulder, and it gets him to Warren Moon, forcing him to throw the ball up.
Anthony Edwards, the deep man. There's the punt by Saxon. Edwards calls for the fair catch at his own 26-yard line. 42-yard punt by Saxon. This Friday, catch the show that's like nothing else on television. People magazine calls Strange Luck one of the most unique and inventive new series since the X-Files. Don't miss a brand new Strange Luck Friday at 8, 7 Central on Fox. Coming up at the end of the game, Anthony and I will select the Miller player of the game. Head coaches Buddy Ryan and Dennis Green look on. 7:43 to go. Cardinals have come back. They trailed 10-0, 17-7. They are now tied at 24. Harrison Hurst. Terrific second effort up near the first down marker as he approaches the 100-yard mark. 11 yards on the play, now 97 this afternoon.
This is just all effort by Garrison Hurst. Number 23 right there in the middle, takes to the left, doesn't see anything, cuts back to the right. Orlando Thomas tries to bring him down, doesn't. All of a sudden, Broderick Thomas tries, and finally Jeff Brady brings Garrison Hurst down. Just tough, hard-nosed running by the third-year veteran out of Georgia.
First down for the Cardinals. Craig bobbles the snap. His third fumble today. That's 139 if you're counting in his career.
Wow. I tell you, with 7 minutes left, tied ball game. That's just uncalled for. I mean, you know, you got to be patient. You got to make sure you grab the ball from your center before you pull out. That's just all about making sure you get the ball first. Right there, he doesn't even have it when he comes out. The ball's on the ground as he's stepping back.
There it is, 139. Craig out of the shotgun is not in trouble with this snap, but instead trouble with the Vikings defense. John Randall and Esra Tuaolo, and it is Tuaolo with his third sack this season.
David Craig had no chance at all. He was trying to get back to where he wanted to set up, and there's no way. He saw the rush coming, As we take a look right here, just both guys inside. They meet at the quarterback. John Randall, number 93. Right here, you see Randall, Ezra just continues to go 100%. Non-stop motor right there by John Randall.
Third down, 20 to go. Centers up to the 37. Well short of the first down, 8-yard gain, and the Cardinals will punt. Under 6 minutes to go. Coming up, following football here on Fox, Space Above and Beyond, and the Invaders. That's tonight on Fox. Clock continues to run, 5:45 remaining.
Give me that play there on third down. A short pass to centers tells me that Buddy Ryan has confidence in his defense going out there. Or just punt it away, stop the Viking offense instead of taking a chance throwing the ball downfield on third and long.
David Palmer. So the Vikings will start out from their own 32. 40-yard punt, 7-yard return. It's a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. Some of you will see the Lions battle the Bears, and the Vikings take on the Saints, plus other exciting regional action. It all begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Check local listings for the game and time in your area. Anthony, remember last week the Vikings were tied 24-all, same score with the Packers. Juan Reveiz won on the field goal with no time remaining. Similar situation today. 24-24 game. On first down, good pressure from the Cardinals defense. Eric Hill in on the stop. Robert Smith. Green Bay Packers and Chicago Bears both 6-4. The Vikings could pull one game behind should they win today. Buccaneers also 5-5. Moon back, and the pass is complete. Nice catch on the near sideline by Chris Carter, and that is number 11. 11 receptions today, 128 yards, 2 scores.
Kenny, the Cardinals actually had 9 guys on the line of scrimmage, as you see right here. Chris Carter reading that, seeing all those guys up, and he knew he had to break that one off, and Warren Moon had to get rid of it in a hurry.
Third down and 5. 4:38 to go. Fourth quarter from Sun Devil Stadium. Vikings and Cardinals tied at 24. Moon with time has the first down at midfield. Jake Reed, only his second catch of the second half. He's been quiet while Carter has done all the work.
And right there you see him getting up slowly. But on that play, Warren Moon had plenty of time. He sat back there and he just fired that one to Jake Reed. And that time the Cardinals had some people up there, but they back off. They just bring their 4 up front. Right here, you see right here, the protection. You see Jameer Miller on the outside, but it's basically he does come there with the tight end staying in. The Vikings do a nice job protecting for Warren Moon. See Jake Reed up top there, just kind of hesitates a little, takes it to the inside. The coverage is not that bad, but Warren Moon fires that one in with Aeneas Williams on the coverage. Right here you see him going down. Aeneas falling down and just kind of grabbing the hip there as he hits the ground.
They have combined for 17 receptions and 3 touchdowns.
And over 200 yards.
Talked about opponent's ability to run on the Cardinals defense, averaging 178 yards per game coming in, but the Vikings have done it in the air. 234 yards on 20 completions for Warren Moon. Robert Smith gains only 1 yard. Michael Bankston, along with Eric Swan, Cardinals have done a good job against the rush today.
This has been a totally different defense against the run that we've seen over the weeks, and especially the first half. They've just completely pretty much shut down this Viking running attack. They're flying to the football. They're bringing people. That front four is doing a super job of getting penetration along with the backers and other people coming up.
Second down and 8. Boone's pass is complete. On the near side, Jake Reed, shaken up moments ago, has the first down, a gain of 12.
And right there, once again, the Cardinals have a group of, right here, 9 guys up along the front. So it's up to the wide receivers, Jake Reed and Chris Carter, to get open in a hurry. And Warren Moon has enough on there right there. Jake Reed knows he has to get open. He's going against Tito Paul. Little out, makes the catch. You know, you have that one-on-one matchup on the outside. None of those safeties in the middle. You know you have to get rid of that football in a hurry. A lot of times Warren Moon goes back and he actually is making the throw as the wide receivers are into their cut because he just doesn't have enough time.
With just 3 minutes, 15 seconds remaining, the Vikings have already gone to overtime 3 times this season in their first 9 games. They played 4 overtime games a year ago. In all, they have gone to an extra session 7 times in their last 19 games, and we could be headed in that direction here today.
Well, they have a drive going on right here. There's 3:15 left in the football game. As you see right here, Jake Reed being helped off the field. You know, it doesn't appear that it's any of its, or either one of his knees or ankles. He did grab his hip. The play he got up slowly. And a lot of times, you know, when you get a hip pointer, you get hit in the hip, that's really painful.
He showed a lot coming back after his previous reception, making his 7th catch today. 38-20. 49ers over the Cowboys. 4 minutes remaining at Texas Stadium. Coming up following football, space above and beyond. And the Invaders here in Tempe, 24-24, Vikings and Cardinals. 3 minutes to go. Minnesota on the Arizona 34-yard line. And the Vikings will keep it on the ground with Robert Smith. Picks up 2 more yards on first down.
Excuse me, Kenny, and once again, nothing there. That Cardinal defense against the run is really filling those gaps. You just see a different intensity level. You see guys flying to the football. When they blitz, they're exploding into the hole. They're just reacting a lot better than they've had first part of this season.
Robert Smith, 67 yards on the ground today. Second down and 8. The pitch back goes to Smith. And Smith is forced out of bounds after a loss. Seth Joyner, the 10-year veteran. Smith forced out at the 38. So he loses 6 yards.
See right there, we talked about the 178 yards they've been giving up, 30th in the NFL. 85 yards so far today with about 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in the game.
That's more like last season.
Yep. Right here you see Eric Hill making the calls, pointing to the direction of the run.
Big third down play, 3rd and 14. Boone being chased by Swan. Looks downfield, it is incomplete. Looking for Chris Walsh. So it is now 4th and 14, all the way back on the 38. If the Vikings elected to try a field goal, it would be approximately a 55-yarder. But it looks like they will punt. There's Juan Revés on the sidelines. So the Vikings will punt with 2:04 to go. 3rd down and 14, 4th down and 14 on the Cardinals' 38-yard line. Anthony Edwards back deep. Big rush and a flag is down. play clock ran down to 0, so the Vikings take the penalty, which will give Saxon better field position on the punt.
To the snap. We got delay of game. 5 yards on the offense. Repeat 4th down.
This will give Saxon some room.
Give him a little more room, a better chance to coffin corner kick that one, try to put it out inside the 5-yard line.
Thank you.
Now the clock has been reset to 2:04. So the Vikings will have more room to try and pin the Cardinals deep here. Tied at 24. Vikings led at halftime, 17-10. Cardinals cut it to 1 on the 2 Davis field goals here in the 4th quarter. 3-yard touchdown pass, Moon to Carter. And then the 2-yard TD strike, Craig to Wendell Gaines, plus the 2-point conversion. You're tied at 24. Anthony Edwards waits on his own 10. High kick by Saxon. Fair catch called for by Edwards at the 12. So the strategy pays off. We hit the 2-minute warning from Sun Devil Stadium. The Vikings and the Cardinals tied at 24. 31-yard kick plus good hang time by Saxon. Kenny Albert, Anthony Munoz from Sun Devil Stadium. Arizona Cardinals and the Minnesota Vikings tied at 24. 1:57 to go. Cardinals offense on the field. They will start from their own 12.
And this is a great opportunity for the Cardinal offensive linemen to see where they are with their pass blocking skills, because guys like Randall and Ezra Tualo, who I believe is out right now, but Randall and Broderick Thomas, they'll be bringing it.
First and Setters in the backfield. Now Setters lines up as a receiver. Craig out of the shotgun. Hands off to Garrison Hurst. He spins his way up to the 20.
Garrison Hurst has been running with pure determination, toughness. I mean, there's times where there's no hole there, and he creates a hole, makes people miss. He's gaining a lot of those yardage on his own. Right there you see, nice little sign for Garrison Hurst.
He has gone over the 100-yard mark. 3rd time this season. 103 yards. Craig on 2nd down. Has the receiver on the far side. It is Rob Moore up near midfield.
Rob Moore covered by Dwayne Washington. Nice catch, a gain of 27 yards.
And we'll be back in just a moment.
Talked about the offensive lineman picking up the pass rush. Occasionally you got to pick up a blitz too, as you see right there. Brady coming on the blitz. Larry Tharp running Broderick Thomas around the corner, and right here you see nice move by Rob Moore on Dwayne Washington. Gives him a nice little swim move, gets open. David Craig lays it in there nicely.
Moore's 4th reception of the afternoon. He already has 1 touchdown plus a 2-point conversion. 1:17 to go. Cardinals on their own 47. Cardinals going with 3 receivers, and Craig under intense pressure throws it away. Took a hit, and he is not very happy. Once again, holding that left wrist.
And he is in a lot more pain now than he was originally with that left hand. They brought the house, they brought the blitz up the middle, and they got through, and just as he threw it away, as you see Mike Buck getting his helmet on once again, the pass rush came through and put a tremendous hit on David Craig. You know it has to be hurting a lot for this competitor to be down there on the ground. Right there you see on his forearm the plays.
He doesn't have them memorized by now?
Well, I tell you, after playing and seeing what those quarterbacks need to know, I'm not surprised more quarterbacks don't wear those on their arms. There's a lot that they have to know.
Craig has thrown 2 touchdowns this afternoon, and he is once again holding that left wrist. He was sandwiched between 2 Viking defensive linemen.
What you have is Broderick Thomas coming off the top, Roy Barker coming off the bottom of the 92. And they just have David Craig right between them. You can see him right there, still in a lot of pain.
So out comes Mike Buck, who played briefly in the first half.
Second down, 10.
He attempted one pass in that first half. Second down and 10. 1 minute, 12 seconds to play. Buck's pass incomplete. The intended receiver, Anthony Edwards. Mike Buck in his 5th NFL season out of the University of Maine. Former New Orleans Saint, in at crunch time as Craig comes back out.
It's a nice cheer from the crowd. And right there, you see what kind of competitor he is. He knows he has a chance to take him down and kick a field goal to win this game. Don't be surprised if you see Larry Centers making a catch here. Last time, he had Robert Griffith, the safety, beat.
Third down and 10. Craig out of the shotgun. Craig rolling left. Flag on the play. As Craig slides, once again met by Parker. Penalty flag about 10 yards upfield.
I think we might have a holding on the Minnesota Vikings secondary. As you see Anthony Edwards down there, he's excited about what the potential call is here.
That's the 9th Vikings penalty today. Cardinals have been called for just one.
To me, we talked about lack of intensity. That comes from lack of concentration. The Cardinals
Holding. Number 27 on the defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's Corey Fuller, the cornerback. And to finish my point, with concentration, you only have one penalty, and that's what the Cardinals have had. Right there, we have him engaged, and he just kind of grabs him, takes him to the ground, and that's where the flag comes.
What a break for the Cardinals. First down. Craig. Oh, does he walloped. Fernando Smith and John Randall. There's Smith, number 95, loss of 11.
Man, I mean, you were right. He took a big hit there, coming right off this pass rush. And that's something that the Vikings have been known for year after year after year. You see Jeff Brady coming up, and I'm sure Craig sees that. When he tries to step to the left, that's when the rest of the pass rush gets there, and they get a tremendous hit on David Craig.
Clock continues to run. We approach 1/2 minute. Craig hands it off on the delay. Larry Centers is thrown back. And it looks as if we may be headed for overtime.
You know, timeout being called, but I don't understand that call. I mean, they still had 30 seconds to try to get downfield on 2 plays. And they're just, it seems, they're content to run the clock out and go into overtime.
23 seconds remaining. Vikings and Cardinals tied at 24. Vikings 2 timeouts remaining. Cardinals do not have any. The 49ers have defeated the Cowboys 38-20. Coming up following football, Space Above and Beyond. And the Invaders right here on Fox. That's tonight, following the Cardinals and the Vikings. Dave Craig, what a competitor. He has already been knocked out of the game twice due to the left hand injury, but he has come back on both occasions. Third down and 24 upcoming. Warren Moon patiently waiting. Perhaps another opportunity. Vikings still with 2 timeouts remaining. Third and 24. Craig rolling right, looks downfield, and he goes up to Rob Moore at midfield. But remember, the Cardinals with no timeouts. Clock now under 10 seconds.
They're not in a hurry to get to the line of scrimmage. They're just letting the clock run out as it goes down to 1 and time just expires.
And that is it. Greg Davis ran on. It would have been a 69-yard field goal had they gotten it off. 69-yard attempt. But we are headed for overtime for the Vikings. Their 4th of the year in just 10 games, 8th in the last 20. And this ties the National Football League record, Anthony. 19th overtime game this season, tying the NFL record of 19 set back in 1983.
I want to go back to the run, the second down run to Larry Centers. Really surprised me when they had a chance to complete a couple passes and get it up there for a chance for Greg Davis to win this game with the field goal. Instead, they go to a run, and then they roll them out and throw a pass with a nice completion there. But I think they went a little conservative on that second down.
And here we see a rare NFL game in which a successful two-point conversion leads to an overtime.
That's right. That pass was thrown to Rob Moore after Wendell Gaines made his first touchdown catch.
Okay, men's overtime period. Shake hands. Cardinals right here.
Larry Centers and
Minnesota here.
the former Cardinal Jeff Christie.
Tails heads. Going to call in here. Call it. He called tails. It is tails. You won a toss.
So the Vikings have won the toss. So far this season, Vikings have gone to overtime against Dallas. They lost 23-17. They beat Houston 23-17 and lost to Tampa Bay 20-17. So the Vikings, 1 win, 2 losses in overtime this year. Their 8th overtime contest over their last 20 games. Back for the overtime kickoff from Sun Devil Stadium in just a moment, with the Vikings and the Cardinals tied at 24. Kenny Albert, Anthony Munoz back at Sun Devil Stadium. You know, we mentioned the Vikings going to overtime for the 4th time this season. How about the Arizona Cardinals? This makes it 3 overtime games the last 5 weeks. They lost to the New York Giants on the 58-yard interception return by Jesse Armstead. And then just 2 weeks ago, they defeated the Seahawks on the 72-yard interception return for a touchdown by Lorenzo Lynch. So Arizona's 3rd overtime game in the last 5, and Minnesota's 4th this season.
Well, as we look here, the Vikings' chance is pretty good at winning this football game. As you see, whoever wins the coin toss has a nice chance of winning it. In fact, whoever loses this game can't complain and say, well, we've never been in this position.
Greg Davis will kick it off for the Cardinals. Lead from his own 5-yard line. Way up to the 25. Simon Shanks on the stop. 20-yard return by Amp Lee. So Warren Moon and the Vikings in overtime, tied at 24. Moon has already thrown 3 touchdown passes today. He's moved into the number 5 slot. Past Johnny Unitas on the NFL's all-time yardage charts. Simon Shanks, who made the stop, slow to get up.
And you can add to that consecutive pass list without an interception for Warren Moon. Continues to play error-free football as far as throwing interceptions.
Yes, 92 coming in and 38 more attempts today. So he's gone 130 attempts without an interception. They're in overtime, tied at 24. First down for the Vikings. The tight end Jordan in motion. The handoff to Scotty Graham. Graham taken down by Lorenzo Lynch. Flag on the play after a gain of 8.
After this call, we'll see if this Cardinal defense can continue. As you see Clyde Simmons right there pointing towards Minnesota, and we see the official doing the same. See if this Cardinal defense can continue to shut down this Viking running game and force them to pass as they did in the second half.
Holding. Number 87 offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
That penalty flag on Adrian Cooper, that big tight end. As we take a look right here, Adrian Cooper getting caught for the hold. In fact, he's going against, in fact, that's the reason why Clyde Simmons knew that it was a holding. It was him that Cooper was holding.
Forces the Vikings back. 1st and 20. Two tight ends. The lone back is Amp Lee. Moon lobs one up, and it is nearly picked off. Aeneas Williams on the coverage. Terrific coverage by Aeneas Williams.
Well, this time, instead of having Tito Paul over on Chris Carter, they have the All-Pro Aeneas Williams, 35, manned up on him, and it is super coverage by the 1994 Pro Bowler right here. He actually uses the sideline to his advantage and kind of guides Carter towards the sideline, therefore helping him out. Makes a nice play.
Aeneas Williams, 9 interceptions a year ago. 2nd down and 20. Moon with time, looks downfield, has a receiver, it's Carter. This time he was covered by Tito Paul. 12th reception today.
It starts with the guys up front. Stussy, McDaniel, Christie, Dixon, Stringer. Right there, double teaming Eric Swan. All of a sudden, Warren Moon has plenty of time. Right here, once again, one-on-one against Tito Paul. Not bad coverage. He might have a little bit of a step. Nice completion for 30 yards. This is a game that Tito Paul can look at, and he'll be learning a lot from this game. Right there you see it, 12 for 12, 2 touchdowns.
And Eric Hill calls timeout. Hill, the defensive signal caller for the Cardinals. He called timeout at the line of scrimmage. With 1:27 gone by in overtime, the Vikings and Cardinals tied at 24. Kenny Albert, Anthony Munoz. In Tempe, Arizona, there is Flan Revez, who hit his 11th career game-winning field goal last week against the Green Bay Packers. He could be called on once again here today.
And then you take a look at Chris Carter, who went out, took a little break. Timeout was called, so he's right back in the football game. Tito Paul, number 27. Checking things out from the sideline right now.
Chris Carter last year against the Cardinals here in Tempe, 14 receptions, a career high, 167 yards. Here today, 12 receptions for 157 yards, just 10 shy of his career yardage mark. But he has scored 2 touchdowns.
Sorry about that, Kenny. You better believe that he's not finished today.
1st and 10. Moon pump fakes and finds the tight end Andrew Jordan. Forced out of bounds by Jameer Miller at midfield.
On that play, I was watching Chris Carter. Warren Moon gave a pump fake, and Chris Carter just kept it to the outside. I think if he'd have taken it upfield, he might have been wide open, but Moon decides to go to the short pass.
Second down and 5 for the Vikings from midfield. Reception, nope, it is incomplete. Carter could not hold on, so it will be 3rd down and 5.
What happened is Warren Moon was forced to scramble a little bit with the pressure, and right here you see him on Brent Alexander, just kind of fading to the outside, but the ball thrown low, and sure enough, Chris Carter short hops it, trying to make the official believe he has a catch there, but they're right on top of that. Right there you see Chip Myers, the wide receivers coach.
3rd down and 5. Both receivers lined up to the right. Carter and Ismael. Moon's pass complete. Andre Ismael breaks free across the 35. It's a race. Ismael into the end zone, and the Vikings win. 50-yard reception by Andre Ismael from Warren Moon. And the Vikings have defeated the Arizona Cardinals 30-24. Andre Ismael's only reception this afternoon.
Knowing that Buddy Ryan comes with the blitz, the Vikings offensive line, they did an unbelievable job. They had people coming up the middle. They gave Warren Moon protection, and Qadry Ismail makes the catch and then just outruns everybody. We'll take a look at it right here. The blitz picked up by the Vikings. You see Terry Hogue right here. He'll be coming in. Jeff Christie picks him up on a nice blitz pickup. And then Warren Moon with the little half roll to the right, giving him vision. And he hits Qadry Ismail, and the rest is left up to the speed in those legs of number 82. And I don't think number 63, Michael Bankston, is going to catch Qadry Ismail. Right here you see Aeneas Williams has the initial coverage, but then Ismail takes it to the inside and actually breaks the tackle of Aeneas Williams to get himself going. And as I mentioned, no way a defensive lineman will catch him.
So the wide receivers catch 20 passes. Carter 12, Reed 7. Yet it is Qadry Ismail on his only reception of the day, scoring his second touchdown of the season. Warren Moon 4 touchdowns, 2 to Carter, 1 to Reed. And the other, the game winner, 50 yards to Qadry Ismail. 2 minutes, 16 seconds into overtime. Back from Sun Devil Stadium right after this. Our Miller Lite player of the game with 12 receptions, Chris Carter. Qadry Ismail, the game winner, 50 yards as the Vikings defeat the Cardinals 30-24 in overtime. So for Anthony Munoz, this is Kenny Albert saying so long from Sun Devil Stadium. Coming up next on Fox, it's Space Above and Beyond, followed by the Invaders. You've been watching Fox Sports coverage of the National Football League.